I wanted to dip back into this because there wasn't really loads else happening this weekend. We could have not done anything at all, but I wanted to dip back into this. We do have a pretty interesting card, though. There is a pretty tasty match that's going to be coming up on this show. And as well as that, this is going to be the first week that we're going to have El Grande on the show since Mask versus Mask. So, El Grande's on the show. There's a tag match as well, which looks quite interesting. I should have a little bit of a preview. Don't know if the preview screen is actually set up, but we can see if it is. If we jump over here. No, but I can easily set it up. There it is. So, this is the preview for tonight's show. So, we've got a tag match. This is going to be Mini Vikingo, someone I really enjoy watching. Mini Vikingo and Dr. Wagner Jr. taking on Vikingo and Omos. So, this is a tag match. Some great competitors there. Certainly Mini Vikingo and Vikingo. Always worth checking out Omos, seeing what Omos is going to bring to the occasion. I haven't actually seen him in action in a long time. So, but Vikingo, Mini Vikingo, they're definitely the draws there for me. This is a very interesting match. Rey Fenix defends that Cruiserweight Championship against Laredo Kid and Lince Dorado. So Rey Fenix and Laredo Kid, we've seen them battling away over this championship. They've had some really great matches. Well, now we've got a triple threat match with Lince Dorado getting involved in that. And this might be the one that kind of grabs a bit of attention. El Grande Americano is going to be making his first appearance since Mask versus Mask. It's going to be very interesting to see what he's got to say. It's going to be very interesting to see if they reinstate his partner. I'm guessing they will. I'm guessing he's going to now start setting his sights on Dominic. Because, I mean, we're done, aren't we? It's clearly all over with El Grande, OG El Grande. So I'm guessing now he's going to set his sights on Dirty Dom. Does Dirty Dom make his presence felt on this show? That should be a very interesting segment. So because this show gets an hour, I'm guessing that it's actually going to get some time because there's only 2 matches that are previewed. We can have both of these done and still have like 20 minutes left. So I'm guessing they're going to give this segment some time. So yeah, interested to see what we've got coming out of AAA tonight as we start to move past the Mask versus Mask and start moving towards their next show, which I can't remember what it's called, but I believe it's in July. It's like Summertime Showdown or something. That's going to be their next big show. And then, of course, we know that Triple Mania is not too far away. I believe that's September time. So, yeah, looks pretty good. Let's just jump over into the chat. I need to get the chat on screen as well. I'm a little bit delayed with a couple of bits. Did we see the new Shrek 5 movie trailer, said Under Armour? I didn't. But I can't say I was keeping an eye out for it either, to be honest. I don't mind a bit of Shrek. Shrek's okay. I think the first film might be the best. Second film was well received, but I don't know. I don't even know if I saw the fourth one, to be honest. Okay, let's swoosh over there. Lovely. Zach said it's National Vanilla Milkshake Day. Oh, hello. National Vanilla Milkshake Day. That makes a lot of sense, actually, because vanilla is very underrated. If ever I go to McDonald's, I would never choose to have vanilla. It's kind of seen as, like, really, I don't know, the base flavor for me. That's kind of the flavor that's, do you know what I mean? If you're really not feeling very adventurous, if for some reason you don't really care for flavor and you just want something quite bland, vanilla is the one that I've always imagined being that flavor. You know, you go chocolate, you go strawberry, maybe if they've got it, you go banana, right? But who walks into a McDonald's and chooses to have a vanilla milkshake? Yeah. I mean, it's even like the thing, isn't it, where people go, oh, that's very vanilla. So it is seen as bland and boring. So actually, we probably should celebrate it. It probably deserves its own day. And if today is that day, then I support it. I'm getting right behind it. I am supporting National Vanilla Day. So I like that. I feel like every day is strawberry or chocolate milkshake day. But, you know, only today is Vanilla Day. Michael said, did you know that Eddie Murphy sang My Girl Wants to Party All the Time? I did not, Michael. Thank you for the info. It's UK vanilla. American vanilla has got plenty of flavour, says New Tomorrow. Well, to be honest, I'm sure that UK vanilla has got plenty of flavour as well, but it's just sort of known, isn't it? Like, oh, that's a bit vanilla. Vanilla is kind of a word that can be used to describe something as being bland and plain. And I've just always viewed the vanilla milkshake that way. When in my mind, there's more exciting options, which would be strawberry, chocolate, and as I said, you know, banana. I don't even know if they do banana all the time, but I have had a banana milkshake from McDonald's, and it was absolutely lovely. Again, who walks in and has vanilla? So I don't want to play down, certainly not on National Vanilla Milkshake Day. I wouldn't want to be accused of underselling the flavour. I'm sure it is very flavourful here in the UK. But, you know, this is what we're battling against. We're battling against the stigma, aren't we? We're battling against the stigma that is the blandness of vanilla milkshake. So I think a really good point has been raised within the first 10 minutes of this stream. Something for us to get into. Shining Wizard said, I'm telling you, vanilla pods are the only way to go. William said, well, actually, vanilla shakes quench my thirst. Chocolate gives me a tummy ache. I'm so sorry to hear that, William. Thank you for letting us know. But shout out to you. Yeah. I mean, if you do need a thirst quencher, vanilla is gonna tick that box. Miss Clown said, I'm thinking vanilla bay oil. Bay. I see what you did there. Adam Cole, bay. Vanilla, but that'd be quite nice actually. Some sort of vanilla body scrub, like some sort of shower wash. I think I'd feel very revitalized. There is an awful lot of celebrating of vanilla going on, which I did not expect when we started this stream. Huddle Talk said it depends on what restaurant you go to get that vanilla shake. I do agree about getting different flavors though, says Huddle Talk. William says, no problem, always happy to share. Bishop said, I've never been a fan of chocolate, whoa, but I do love white chocolate. I mean, I don't think I've ever experienced a white chocolate shake from McDonald's. It's a flavor that I could absolutely see them doing. And actually, history might prove that they have done it, and I've just never been around for it. Would I try it? Sure. As a kid, I was never crazy about white chocolate. I always found it to be the inferior chocolate. Never a fan. But actually, as I've kind of grown a bit older, I've started to appreciate it a little bit more. You can get it with like bits of raspberry in or something. That's nice. That's nice. I feel like white chocolate kind of needs something with it for me. White chocolate and strawberries, white chocolate and raspberry, kind of needs something. I don't find milk chocolate to be as needy. To be honest, I do find white chocolate to be a very needy chocolate. It's like, oh, you've got to eat me with something else, you know. I mean, if you get some strawberries and some white chocolate sauce and you put them on the strawberries, beautiful, you know. But I wouldn't just be having white chocolate on its own. I'm not the Milky Bar kid. So you raise an interesting point there. You raise an interesting point. Daze, how do we feel about Smackdown going to 2 hours? Keith, thank you for bringing this back to wrestling. I feel good about it. I mean, I don't know about you, but I feel that Smackdown is... It's pretty, it's watchable. I mean, I found yesterday to be very watchable, actually. But you do find, without looking hard, things that you go, I didn't need that. I didn't need that. Like, I could have done without Damien and R-Truth against Tama and Tala. Now, some people will say, yeah, but we needed it to cause issues between Solo and Tama and Tala. But I would say we can cause issues a million billion different ways. I don't think we needed that match. And that match, I've got the odd scores right here. You lot scored good 92. 63% of you said it was good. 8% said it was bad. That is not a match that is improving anyone's enjoyment of SmackDown. So I didn't need that. I didn't need Cody Gunther going back for that second weird little match. Do you know what I mean? Like when they were arguing backstage, that's where we could have had the announcement of Nick Aldis saying, I've had enough of this triple threat Night of Champions. We didn't really need to go back out to the ring and faff around again for a bit more. That just felt a bit like filler to me. Damien R-Truth, I didn't need. I didn't think Carmelo Ricky was that great. You lot said it was good 89. I think that could have been... I don't want to say you would cut it because, I mean, they should be able to put on like a really good match. Carmelo always puts on a match that's worth watching. But I don't know. I mean, when you've got Cody Gunther for the title, you've got Jay Javon and they're battling for a semi-final, trying to get through to the final. You've got Liv and Charlotte. They're battling away, trying to get through to the next rounds. You've got loads of backstage segments that you need to fit in. Perhaps you could have kept Carmelo Ricky. Perhaps you could have done 2 matches each hour. So I suppose if you think about it, Cody Gunther, do all that within half an hour. Then do Carmelo Ricky in the second half an hour. But obviously lots of backstage segments because there was quite a few backstage segments, video packages that they were playing. So Carmelo Ricky. Then in the final hour, you do both the semi-finals for King and Queen of the Ring in the next hour. And there's your 2-hour show. And actually, if that's what we'd been served up, I think it would have scored much higher. I mean, I was at 675, 775. If it had been the show that I had just laid out, I think it'd probably be at 675 to 7. I think I would have been like 775, maybe knocking on the door to an 8 if we'd have took that hour away and, you know, the tag match had gone and maybe a few other bits had gone. So I'm not worried. I mean, one thing I will say is going down to 2 hours is going to result in some wrestlers not getting TV time. I mean, you've got to accept that. If you're going to lose an hour, it's going to result in people not getting on TV. To be honest, I'm not worried about that. I think the most important thing for WWE, and as a WWE viewer, the most important thing is the shows are good. That's the most important thing. I don't care what you've got to do to achieve that. But I want to be tuning into shows and I want to be excited for them. And I thought what they did yesterday was decent. I mean, it was a mixed bag from you lot. But technically, there were 3 great matches, which is very, very rare. I thought they did a lot of storytelling. I thought there was a lot of backstage segments, which, you know, kind of talking points. And yeah, I gave it 675, knocking on the door to a 7. You lot, it was mixed. It was mixed. I mean, I don't know kind of roughly where it would end up score-wise. I haven't looked at Cage Match. I don't really look at Cage Match so much for Raws and Smackdowns because you don't get loads of responses, honestly. So I don't tend to look. Yeah, there's been 31 votes. 31 votes. Oh, bless me. 6.1 is where it is at the moment. 6.19, so basically 6.2. But you can see a fair few people scoring it like in the 7s, but then you got a chunk of people in the 5. 7 and 5 is kind of the most rated section. So it's, I suppose in a way, 6 point something is obviously the average. So that's kind of where it's kind of gone. So you can see not loads of disasters there. I mean, if it's in the 6s, it goes green. If it's in the 7s, it goes a slightly darker green. If it's below that, it gets like, I mean, that match there, again, it's the tag match, innit? It's the tag match. It sticks out like a goddamn sore thumb. I promise I haven't even looked at Cage Match. This is the first time I'm looking at it. And look at the flipping tag match. Sticks out like a sore thumb. I actually would disagree with the community at touch. You lot said Carmelo Ricky was worse. I think the tag match was worse. And yeah, I can't say I disagree with this. Although, in all fairness to you guys, the second worst match is Ricky Carmelo. That's the second worst match, but not by much. 6.18. These are 6.4. So, although it doesn't really make much sense that the first match that went 11 minutes scored 6.4. The second match that went 1 minute also scored 6.4. I'm thinking people are kind of confusing the two, the matches. Really, that shouldn't be scoring. Normally, they don't count scores for something under 5 minutes. But anyway. So, us going down to 2 hours. I think that you can always find matches and moments that you can cut. And I think that you can make a better show. It's like a movie, isn't it? If a movie goes 3 hours and it's okay, if you edit it and take it down to 2, it's going to be much better. The thing is, though, can you cut the stuff that's not very good in advance without knowing how it goes, Would you look at that and know that needs cut in, that needs cut in? I think we would. I think if you look at this, you wouldn't cut the championship match. You wouldn't cut the 2 semi-finals. So they would stay. That would stay. It only leaves these 3 to cut. That's a minute. You can easily cut it. So you're left with these 2. And to be honest, if we'd lost all of those 3, it would have made that score higher. That's the bit where, for me, this show loses marks. Is this bit here? I mean, that doesn't go long, so it's not that offensive. So, I mean, you could say that, really. But, yeah, I don't mind. For me, I want to tune into Smackdown. I want to tune into Raw. I want a really entertaining show. And I think that if we actually take the time down and, really dial in on the stuff that we care about, that's hopefully will make for a better show. Real Glotness said, I've tried different brands from generic store brands to expensive brands. They all taste like toothpaste on chocolates. What's that, Real Glotness? What's that? Real Glotness said mint chocolate is like putting toothpaste on chocolate. That's interesting. I don't mind a mint chocolate. I find it refreshing. I don't really think so much toothpaste, but I do get where you're coming from. I think the texture is different, which is why I don't get toothpaste vibes. But I can understand, obviously, the mint and the flavouring being the same. So I do get where you're coming from there. I don't mind a mint chocolate. I would actually put it above a white chocolate, I think. A white chocolate, as I said, it's too needy. It needs something else with it. A mint chocolate, I can just enjoy. If there was a box of dark chocolate, milk chocolate, white chocolate, mint chocolate, and you can only have one, I might go mint. Because it's going to freshen. It's got a little something going on. The white chocolate's going to be bland. You're not going to get, it's just going to be a bit creamy. Milk chocolate, it's the safe option in it. The milk chocolate is the one you probably, if you want to go a bit extreme, if you are Darby Allin or Jeff Hardy, you're going dark chocolate. Because that's the most rich, impactful, sharp flavor. That's the one that Darby Allin would go for. He would go dark chocolate. To me, that's the risk taker. That's the daredevil. That's the person that wants to live life to the max. Is dark chocolate. I don't think that's mint chocolate. Mint chocolate's just a refreshing. Do you know what I mean? We have things like After Eight mints, which is like after dinner, you'll have a little thin chocolate that's got like mint sort of goo in the middle. They're quite nice, refreshing, palate cleansing, like a sorbet. Nice. Daze, WWE have come to an agreement with the O2 Arena and FIFA to show England's World Cup game against Ghana inside the O2 after the Smackdown taping on Tuesday. The fans will be able to watch the game. That's great, isn't it? That's fun. So you get to go to see Smackdown and you get to watch the game after. So that's fun. That might be another reason to buy a ticket, actually. As crazy as it sounds. You know, you get to watch wrestling, but also if you get to stick around in the O2 with a load of other people and actually watch the game with a load of other people, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Daze, you need to try wet dog hair ice cream. I have enough of wet dog hair in my life, thank you. Our dog just constantly stays outside if it's raining, doesn't give a flip. Some dogs, if it's raining, will obviously bark and come in to get out of the rain. She just lies there. I don't even think she notices. So I've got a lot of experience of wet dog hair. Chocolate syrup on peppermint candy, yes or no, said Real Glockness. That'd be a no for me. I mean, peppermint candy is going to be hard. That, to me, a peppermint candy says to me that it's hard. So a chocolate syrup is obviously going to be soft. So you've got a soft, gooey sauce on a hard, suckable sweet. Doesn't work. Doesn't work. To me, if you put peppermint or you put some sort of mint into a chocolate, it should be that you can easily eat the chocolate melts, you're getting the mint flavor, but there's no inconvenience. If I've got to like deal with a chocolate sauce and then I've got just a peppermint sweet in my mouth after, I mean, do you know what I mean? I'm just being bombarded by wave after wave of mint. The chocolate is long gone. The balance is completely wrong. So that would be a no for me. Bishop said it's L for cage match. We get a lot more votes in the polls than we do on live streams, said Bishop. I mean, it is true. This is why I don't go or worry so much about cage match for SmackDown and Raw, because, I mean, they get like 30, 40 odd votes for those shows. So how much can you really take from that? It's much better when it comes to pay-per-views. That's where they start getting into the hundreds of votes. So it's something to reference. I mean, the alternative is you get Dave Meltzer's opinion. That's one person's opinion about how a match went, you know. Or you read a review. 411 Mania or Bleacher Report. Again, that's just one person's opinion. So if you go to cage match and get hundreds of people's opinions and the average, it's a shame, but it's probably the best we've got, you know. It'd be great if that was a platform that was used more, or if there was like a place where people could go in their thousands to vote. That would be useful. At the moment, it's probably the best we've got. It's the churning you can't replicate, said William. You can't whisk it. It needs to be folded and layered. Jim said there are chewable mints. There are chewable mints. I think candy probably means a different word where you are to where I am. Like a candy for me is like a hard candy. So that to me would be more like a sweet, a boiled sweet. It would be a suckable sweet. Like do you want a candy would be like, that's what I'd be thinking. Like we refer to things like Haribo as like more gummies, you know? So there could be a language thing there. Destin said, do we think the only way WWE can improve is by selling the company? No. I think if you go back a couple of years, we still had the same setup. TKO were in charge. Triple H was top booker, and, you know, people were loving it. So, you know, Bloodline was obviously running wild, and Cody was back trying to finish his story. There was good vibes around, and so I think that we were in a decent place, and that was the same setup. So no, I don't think that it's a case that they have to sell. I actually think there's green shoots. I genuinely think if you look at how SmackDown did this week and the week before, and Raw, I think, has been not bad for a while now. I think that we are in a much better place even right now than in 2025. And actually, if you look at where we were even just before WrestleMania, like with the Pat McAfee stuff, I mean, I was pulling my hair out over that stuff. Well, no, we haven't got anything as bad as that going on at the moment. So I think that sometimes there is a little bit of people online getting engagement from complaining and moaning, and you've got to remember as well, there's a lot of bots that are just repeating things or have been programmed to, you know, produce things. You've got AEW people, AEW fans that are kind of putting stuff out about, you know, being negative about WWE. So I think it's interesting. You got to make your own mind up. You gotta watch the show yourself and know how you feel about the show, more so than just look online and see what people are saying. I couldn't give a flip what people online are saying, because I know that there is a lot of bad faith accounts. I know there is a lot of people that are just saying stuff for engagement. And we had a conversation about that in regards to the news. And we've been talking about how there's a lot of news that gets blown out of proportion. There's a lot of news that's clearly clickbait or whatever, right? And it's because we live in a world that's all to do with engagement and clicks and, you know, all that stuff, likes and whatever, views. And so, you know, if you put an article out or you put a video out going, this was okay, it ain't going to get any attention because no one's coming back from work and going to click on a video that goes, yeah, this was all right. I mean, we live in a world where now it's got to be the worst thing ever or the greatest thing ever. It's got to be an extreme to get attention. You know, Mask versus Mask has got to be the greatest match in AAA history. This is maybe the greatest match I have ever seen. You can't just go, oh, it's really good, you know. I think, you know, come the end of the year, it's going to be up there as a match of the year. Like, it was really good. You got to go further to get the views, get the clicks. Oh, my God, guys, this was incredible. You have to know that that's the landscape that's out there. You have to know that that's what's happening in the world now. And so this is why it's more important, genuinely more important than ever, that you watch the show, make your own mind up. Yeah, you know, find people that you like and you trust. Find people that you believe in when they're talking, that they're telling the truth. Like, yeah, get other perspectives. But genuinely, I mean, I thought yesterday was like 6.75, knocking on a door to a 7 for SmackDown. That's okay. It's not amazing. I didn't lose my mind over the show. There was no major OMG moment, if you will. But it was okay. I don't think it was a disaster at all. And as we said, our community actually scored 3 of the matches as great. They were low-end great, but they were still great. And then, of course, you got some other matches. The tag match, Carmelo, Ricky, which struggled in our rating. So I actually think the 6.2 is fair for on Cage Match. I don't think that's a bad score or an unfair score. But it's hard to package a video or an opinion where you go, it was all right. And I really think that's where yesterday was. So, and I think historically, that's where a lot of WWE has been. The truth is, Raw SmackDown has not consistently smashed it week after week after week. Most of the time, I'd say the average for... That would be so interesting. I've got to do that work. I've got to. Wouldn't you love to know? Because I would. What is the average Raw score? Starting all the way back from 93. Let's look on Cage Match. Let's get every score for every Raw and then we'll work out what the average is. I think that number is 6.4, something like that. I would imagine that's the average from going all the way back to 93. The average is not 8. Nowhere near. Nowhere near. In fact, the average might even be a touch lower. The average Raw might be 6.1, you know? I think it starts with a 6. I think the average Raw probably starts with the 6, but there's been plenty of 5s and 4s over the years. The idea that we're going through something now that is like really horrifically worse than anything we've experienced before is just not true. I mean, the pandemic did not provide great shows. 2019 was a disastrous year. Even 2018 wasn't that special. So, you know, there's plenty of shows out there that, you know, didn't really deliver. That is something I've got to do because I think that would be such interesting info. I'm writing it down. I'm sorry, I'm writing that down. Saw, Raw, and SmackDown average. Because I want to know the answer. And granted, you're having to use Cage Match, which, as we said, doesn't get loads of feedback, but it's a snapshot. I mean, I gave yesterday 6.75 knocking on the door to a 7. Cage Match have given it 6.19, 6.2. It ain't a million miles out. It's not like I've given it an 8 and they've given it a 2, you know? It's close enough where I can go, yeah, okay. It's, you know, if the average is 6.1, maybe you're, you know, if you had scored every Raw ever, perhaps your average would be 6.5, 6.6. But it's going to be in the same sort of ballpark, you know. I don't think your average would be 9 and their average is 6.1. So, yeah, there's quite a bit to say there. I think genuinely the shows are not bad right now. I've had 2 weeks of decent SmackDowns. I've had months of decent Raws. I'm feeling quite happy with where we are. I'm quite excited for SummerSlam. I think there's some really good options on the table. And more importantly, I'm hoping that we can grow from here. I'm hoping that this is something we can kick on from. Last year was bad because we invested in the John Cena heel run and it sucked. We invested in the Vision and they sucked. At least now we're kind of trying to invest in a Sammy, Cody, Gunther story, which I'm interested in. And we've redone the Bloodline on Raw, which I'm also interested in. Because, okay, it might not be a new idea, but, well, at least it's interesting. Some people are burnt out with it. I feel sorry for those people. I'm personally not. I'm okay with it. Yeah, I don't want this to be forever, but, I mean, this is fine. To get us over the summer or take us into WrestleMania next year, this is fine. I probably don't need it post-Mania next year. Depends what we're doing, where we are. But, you know, if we go from now and it's going to build to Rock Roman or something like that, fine. If that's sort of the strategy, the plan. Equally, maybe it's going to build to Zilla coming in, or it's going to build to Solo returning to the Bloodline, or it's going to return to MFTs and Bloodline joining together in some sort of supergroup, or I don't know. Hopefully there is a long-term plan as to where this is going, and we're not just doing it for the lols. So we'll see. But I don't know. I'm finding it interesting enough at the moment. Daze, there is news going around that Punk will be returning to MMA commentary on June 26th for CFFC 156. But he used to do that, so that'd be good for him to go back to that. Death Metal Lad said, for me, someone that watched every Raw from 93 to present, it did used to be a lot worse. Yeah, true. Gabe said, where is AAA tonight? I don't think they've said exactly where it's going to be. I mean, it's going to be in Mexico. Maybe Mexico City, I guess. I don't know how much they travel around Mexico. But, yeah, it starts in an hour and 20-odd minutes. Hour and 20-odd minutes. It'll be on YouTube, WWE YouTube channel. Calvin, shout out to you. Daze, what do we think the world would look like now if we never had Free Willy? Less wet, maybe. That was, I mean, I saw the first one, and it was a classic film when I was a kid. I don't know how it's aged. I don't know how people have... is it fondly remembered? Is it a classic? I think it's a classic amongst our age group. But I don't know. I think it is. I don't know. It's weird. I haven't thought about Free Willy in a long time. But it is a classic. I haven't even watched it since the 90s, Yeah, that's crazy. That's a real blast from the past. It's a film I just have not thought about in like 20 odd years. Yeah, that's great. Do they still do those kinds of films now? Where are those kinds of films for the kids? I don't really ever see them getting advertised at the cinemas anymore. Like the Spy Kids type films. I suppose it is. I suppose it's the kind of live action remake stuff, isn't it? It's Beauty and the Beast and stuff like that being remade. Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. But do Disney not tell any other stories? Perhaps it just goes straight onto Disney Plus now, and I just don't see it being advertised. It's probably that, isn't it? Probably they're making films like that, but they just go straight onto Disney Plus, and it's just it's not in my vision anymore. But yeah, those kind of films, like Freaky Friday and Cool Runnings and Little Rascals and Blank Check. And those kind of like films that kids could watch that mostly were done by Disney, actually, but they're live films, live action films. I don't really ever see them. I mean, I know Toy Story 5's out now. And there's a lot of live action. Perhaps they're putting a lot of focus into those live action remakes. Don't know. Yeah, I never saw the second one. I mean, to be honest, Free Willy was about a whale that needed freeing. And to be honest, if he got himself flipping stuck again, that's on him. Do you know what I mean? I've got sympathy for a trapped whale if it happens once. But if it's going to happen again, you're an idiot. I don't need to see them trying to rescue you again. I mean, you've just... If anything, it's coming across as quite needy. I would call that whale white chocolate. Because both are quite needy. White chocolate needs something with it. And clearly this whale needs freeing all the time. And probably is just doing it for attention. It's an attention-seeking whale. So I didn't watch the sequel. It might have been about a different whale. I have absolutely no idea. That might even have made a third. If he got stuck a third time, I'd just leave him to die, to be honest. I mean, he's got to learn. I know that's going to upset people, but you have to be responsible for your own actions. And I've already freed him flipping once. And potentially twice. So perhaps that's what happens in the third one. Perhaps that young boy takes my approach and goes, listen, I've already helped you twice. This is getting silly now. And walks away and the whale dies. And perhaps it's so deeply upsetting that actually there was, first of all, no need for a fourth film. But also there was probably a sizable backlash. There's probably a sizable backlash to the fact that, like, animal cruelty and whatever, and really he should have helped him. But how many times do you have to help him? Do you know what I mean? That kid wasn't born to just solely help that whale. Again and again and again and again and again. He's got to live a life. He needs to find a girl, settle down, have a family. He can't keep freeing the same goddamn whale. Don't know. I've never really thought about it before. But the first film was nice. Rapture said they did make a Freaky Friday sequel last year with Lindsay Lohan and Jamie Lee Curtis. Nice. Good. I hope it did well. That's the kind of content I'm here to support. That's the kind of content I'm here to encourage. More of that. We need more Freaky Fridays. Days, all three of Mexico, USA, and Germany have qualified for the knockout rounds. Yep, those teams that are starting to get 2 wins in a row now are starting to go through, aren't they? So I just saw, actually, the current odds are that America is got a 66% chance of playing Bosnia. Now, I think Bosnia's a little tricky team. I think they're tricky. I don't think that's going to be an easy game for America, but I do think if that is what happens, I do think it's a winnable game for America. So if I had to bet, I think I would go America. And I think I might go like 2-1, 1-0, might even sneak into extra time. But I think you would get the job done against Bosnia. But they're a decent team, Bosnia. They were the team that prevented Italy from getting to the World Cup. So, you know, they're a decent side, Bosnia. I think they did get humbled the other day, though. So they can get humbled. Let's have a look. Yeah, they lost to Switzerland 4-1. So they drew 1-1 with Canada, and then they lost to Switzerland 4-1. So Bosnia, are definitely beatable. 66% chance that America plays them in the next round. Real Glockness said, I've still got the necklace that was included in the VHS box with the first movie, said Real Glockness. What movie is that? What movie are you referring to where it came with a necklace? Is that Freaky Friday? Real Glockness, did you buy Freaky Friday and you got a free necklace with it? And you was parading around the house in your lovely necklace? I can only presume that's what you're referring to. Guitar Crow said, I think Shotzi has really improved. And I'd like to see her back, but damn, it's rough. Especially with all the young female upcoming talent. It's really competitive at the moment, isn't it? It's really competitive. So, yeah, I like Shotzi. I agree with you, though. I think it's really hard to stand out. So, yeah, I agree. I think she's a great talent. I hope she's doing well. I keep seeing like videos of her being interviewed by Sean Ross, that whatever. So I know she's out there still putting that work in, still engaging with the fan base. So yeah, she could make it back one day. How old is she? Let's have a look. Shotzi wrestling. She is 34. I mean, she's still got plenty of time. You know, even if she spends another year or two on the indies, she could absolutely find a way back to WWE. Just got to find something that's going to give you that momentum, you know? Just got to find something that's going to give you that sort of forward momentum. I think Gunther's booking has been very off lately, considering not only did he choose Sammy to be the ref, but he almost immediately had problems with him during the match, said Rapturous. Well, I think the booking of Gunther is okay. I think that what they did was he had a championship match. So he beat Royce Keys. Good. Gets him the championship match. Then he has the title match in Italy and he gets pinned, but he shouldn't have been. His foot was under the rope. So there's controversy there. So, yeah, shenanigans. But, it doesn't make Gunther look bad. I mean, he got his foot under the rope. It's the referee that made the mistake. So we do the rematch. And actually, Gunther gets to have a stipulation in that rematch. So he chooses the stipulation, and that is he wants a special guest ref. Now, I agree. For me, this is the bit where he makes the big mistake. We said it at the time. Why would he choose Sami Zayn when there are so many people that would be willing to screw over Cody and, take that belt from him? You could make an argument, and I didn't hear Gunther make this argument, so I'm kind of giving him the argument that he should make, that he's so confident after retiring John, retiring Goldberg, retiring AJ, beating Seth at WrestleMania. He so believes in his own ability that he just believes he's going to beat Cody. Like, he does not need to cut corners. So who better to count the 1, 2, 3 than Sammy? who is, you know, seemingly going through this sort of friendship turmoil. I mean, not only could Gunther win the championship, but he could end that friendship at the same time. Like, you know, if Sammy has to count the 1, 2, 3, that's going to be a moment that's going to really test their relationship. So Gunther gets the title and he breaks up their relationship. And I think he genuinely believes that Sammy is going to call it down the middle. I don't think he thought Sammy would screw him. And actually, did Sammy screw him? I mean, I think that Sammy was kind of calling it down the middle. I don't think that he necessarily favored Cody. He only favored Cody after he got power bombed. And really at that point, I think Sammy's head goes. You know, to be honest, though, if you're going to find yourself in a situation where you're power bombing the referee, you can make the argument that's an instant disqualification. And you can make the argument technically the match ends at that point anyway. So, yeah, Sammy comes in and screws Gunther. But really, should Gunther have been disqualified anyway at that point? So I think that he makes a mistake with picking Sammy. He didn't say what we just said of, I can beat Cody anyway. Who's sweeter to count the 3 and crown me champion than, you know, his very close friend at the moment, Sami Zayn. So I think there was a little bit lost in the detail there where they could have said that. And I think the excuse he gave was that he wanted an honest guy, a real guy, maybe the last real guy. That's what he said. So I think he chose him because he believed that he would call it down the middle. And I think he chose him probably because of the drama between them. But it would have been nice if he had kind of, you know, explained that out loud so that we didn't have to kind of put the pieces together ourselves. And then, of course, what happens in the match happens in the match. Would it have been more in his benefit to have had someone that would have definitely counted 1, 2, 3 quickly and given Gunther the win? Yes, but then you could make the argument that Gunther doesn't want to be seen as an undeserving champion. You know, he doesn't want that. He wants to win the belt and he believes he can win the belt. So, I don't know. I'm not sure that it's bad booking. I think when you actually hear a lot of people say bad booking, what they mean is, I don't like Cody and Gunther should be champion. That's what you see online. People that are complaining about bad booking, it's more to do with the fact they don't like Cody and they want Gunther to win the championship. And because he hasn't yet, it's bad booking. But actually, if we follow the story step by step, I would agree. I'm not a big fan of the Sammy pick for guest ref. Outside of that, I'm okay with the story that they're telling at the moment. I don't know where the final destination is. I mean, it's set up a very interesting triple threat. And I genuinely think any of those 3 can go on to win this. I genuinely don't know which way this goes. Are they going to go with Cody? And, you know, Cody somehow finds a way of retaining. If they do, does that sort of protect Gunther a little bit? You know, is it that Cody pins Sammy and then, you know, Gunther's a bit protected because, well, he never lost. I was never pinned. You know, is it Cody that pins Sammy? That would feel like the most likely outcome, right? I think that keeps Gunther protected, kicks the can a little further down the road. I know there's a lot of people saying we should capitalize now, and I do understand that. So I don't know that would be well received. Perhaps they really want Cody to have the belt going into SummerSlam, though, because they've got some big SummerSlam plan. You know, perhaps the plan is we're going to do Cody Punk, and we need Cody to have the belt. So let's get through this period. And actually, the plan is that Gunther goes for the belt at WrestleMania and wins it at WrestleMania. So we just don't know what their long-term plans are. We just don't know what they've got kind of lined up, you know. So, I don't know. This is why it's sort of hard to judge everything that they're doing without letting it play out. In regards to, like, I think that's probably the favourite outcome. The other outcome is Gunther wins. and he wins by pinning Sammy, and that way Cody is protected. I mean, I've got to say that's a pretty close second for me. I think the outside chance is Sammy wins. I'm struggling with that. I don't think they do that. I don't believe they see Sammy as being that level. I think he's just in this to make it a bit more interesting. I don't see us doing Jay Sammy at SummerSlam. But again, it's an option. They've teased it, and it's an option. And it's not impossible that Sammy wins. And it's not impossible that we do Jay Sammy at SummerSlam. So, yeah, I think for me, Cody retaining, close by pinning Sammy is the most likely. Gunther winning by pinning Sammy is the next likely. Sammy winning by, I don't know, pinning Gunther probably. Would be the next one, yeah. I was trying to think, like, is there a way of doing it by count out, but it'd be a triple threat, so there's no count out. So it would have to be no DQ, no count out. It would have to be a pin or a submission. So I don't know. I'm struggling to see Sammy getting it. It is in Saudi. Again, that increases Sammy's chances, but I don't see him getting it, to be honest. Sammy gets 10 times the heat that Cody ever gets, says Ronnie. Days, Saudi Arabian fans love Sammy. Yeah, it doesn't mean they're going to put the belt on him, though. It's like Saudi Arabian fans love Sammy and he didn't win the Rumble. So I don't feel like that's enough to say they're going to go with Sammy just because it's in Saudi Arabia. I'd rather see Sammy win at Night of Champ because it would be predictable if he wins the Rumble and then goes on to Mania, says Bonkers. I've not seen any tweets against Cody. Maybe I've missed them, says Warrior. Oh, there's a lot of people that don't like Cody. There's a lot of anti-Cody sentiment in the IWC. I see plenty of anti kind of Cody talk, and it tends to be fatigue. It tends to be he's the golden boy. Actually, a lot of the terms you're hearing on TV now are things that have been getting said on social media for quite a while now. So I don't mind Cody. I don't mind him carrying on with this belt. I do think that actually pulling the trigger on Gunther makes a lot of sense. I think Gunther beating John and everything, I feel like, you know, we should capitalize on that. But if they've got like a plan they want to do for SummerSlam, and they've got a plan to get the belt on Gunther eventually, I'm okay with waiting. But yeah, I'm interested. They've got me interested for Night of Champions. I'd like to see them do some completely unexpected and do the change, said Shining Wizards. Connor said, what do we think of the Jay and Sammy segment? And what did Sammy say to Jay? Tell the family I say hi. Could that set something up? Well, Sammy said to Jay, if I win at Night of Champions and you win, that's going to mean we have a match at SummerSlam. What does that mean? Right? And basically what he's asking there is it going to be fair? Is it going to be you versus me, or do I have to expect that there's going to be outside interference? And Jay said, you know how it goes. You know that I'm going to have to do whatever I'm going to have to do. And so that's why Sammy responded by saying, okay, well, tell the family I say hello. Because that's Sammy saying, basically, I understand. I understand that the family are going to get involved. I understand that if we have a match, Roman's going to want that belt back in the bloodline. I understand where I stand. You're not just going to be happy to have a fair match, and if I come out as the honourable winner, that you're going to respect that. I understand that as of right now, I am on the outside of this bloodline. I am not seen as an ex-member. So, you know, tell the family I say hello. If I do end up winning at Night of Champions, I feel like our paths are going to be crossing. So that's what I got from that segment. I thought it was a good segment. I mean, it's one of those where not much is said, but lots is said. And it's one of those where you go, that would be interesting. If Sammy wins and Jay wins, that would be interesting. And we could absolutely do that. And it is an option that's on the table. Jay's got to get past Oba. Sammy's going to have to get past Cody and Gunther. It's not going to be easy to get to that, but it is an option. And it is a way forward. Rapture said, I know it won't happen, but I could see Gargano snapping out of his depressed state by getting shot by Danhausen. He could reappear at Night of Champions to help Sammy at the end of the match. Ronnie said, give LA Knight a run at least. Connor said, they should let Sammy reunite with the Bloodline. Warrior said, I'd rather it be on Cody than Roman for another 4 years. Suzanne said, hello, gang. I'm watching UFC at the moment. It's got to the main matches. Oh, really, has it? That's early. I don't even know where they are this week. Asking for a new champion because of fatigue means I dislike Cody. I'm confused, says Ronnie. Daze, I'm sorry, but we're in a big disagreement. Last year about Drew, Cody, Elimination Chamber, and WrestleMania. But I'm here to say that Gunther Cody is worse than Drew Cody. Gunther screwed Gunther. Okay, well, I'm happy to dig into this. So we're in a big disagreement. Okay. Oh, we're in a big disagreement last year. Drew Cody, Elimination Chamber. You've lost me. Are we saying we're in a big disagreement now? Or are you saying we had a big disagreement last year? Because if we did, I don't remember it. I'm here to say, to this day, that Gunther Cody is worse than Drew Cody. Gunther screwed Gunther. You think Gunther Cody is worse than Drew Cody? Depends on what perspective you're looking at. I mean, I think their 3 stages of hell match is better than any Cody Gunther match. I mean, I don't think that is controversial. So if we're talking about in-ring quality wise, I would say that 3 stages of hell match that happened in January, Drew Cody is better than anything, right? The booking of it, though, I was not a fan of because I felt like Drew was not really being a heel. So Drew was not going off at the fans. He was not like being a heel in that regard. He was saying that the company was overlooking him, how the golden boy was the chosen one. And you had a lot of fans going, he's right. Drew's telling the truth. So what was happening was you was getting this real wishy-washy reaction to Cody where, you know, Cody, your white meat baby face kind of does everything the right way. Guy comes out and he's getting these negative reactions because seemingly Drew is saying something that a chunk of the fans are agreeing with. I was not a fan of that dynamic. I don't think that was well booked. I don't think that was a good way of kind of trying to tell the story. For me, I would much rather Drew be this hated heel that people did not want to see succeed, and Cody be that white meat baby. I mean, if you're a white meat baby face, it means that you're kissing babies, you're posing for pictures, you are just the nicest guy. Swell, look at him, what a great guy, you know? Like, you having a wishy-washy reaction to a white meat babyface is not good, because that's their whole shtick. That's what they're all about. They are all about doing the right thing and getting those great reactions because he's a good guy. I'm with this guy. So I really didn't like the way that Drew was kind of cutting some of his promos. I wasn't a big fan of the dynamic with the crowds. So that's where a lot of my issues were kind of coming from with that feud. But when it comes to the in-ring, I think the matches were better, right? In regards to this story, I much prefer the dynamic now. I much prefer seeing Cody come out getting great reactions, and I much prefer Gunther coming out and getting heat. I mean, this feels a lot better. But so far, because of the faffing around, because they feel to me like they've been held back, it doesn't feel like, you know, in that first match, they didn't get tons of time. They actually opened up Italy. They opened the show, and you had that kind of shenanigan finish with the foot under the rope that people were not crazy about. So that was their match in Italy. Then they have the match, obviously, on Smackdown, and it was full of Sammy getting involved. I feel like they've been held back. Now we've got a triple threat, which could cook. I mean, the triple threat at Night of Champions could be an amazing match, but I still don't feel like I've seen that proper Cody Gunther singles match. I still don't feel like I've had it. I still don't think I've been served it. The, you know, proper one-on-one babyface, heel, no messing around, no shenanigans. Let's just put him in a flipping cage if we have to. Let's get this done. I don't feel like I've had that match. And even after Night of Champions, I still won't feel like I've had that match. I don't know where we're going in regards to this story. And there's every chance that SummerSlam's a fatal four-way. I mean, there's every chance that Jay wins King of the Ring, can't go after Roman, has to go after Cody Gunther Sammy, but maybe Cody Gunther Sammy still has not been sorted out. We could be heading to a fatal four-way. So, because what do you do with Gunther if he loses at Night of Champions? What's Gunther doing at SummerSlam? I don't think he's facing Brock. I think most people now think that's going to be over. So what does Gunther do? I mean, I'm not sure. Does he just miss out on the show? So it's quite confusing. So I think it's very difficult to sort of say which feud is better, because I've personally got complaints with both. The one thing I do know is that I like the dynamic better of this one. I don't have a problem with the foot being under the rope and being missed by the referee. It happens. I don't have a problem with Gunther picking to have his own referee. I agree, Sammy is questionable, and we questioned it at the time. But it's not enough for me to just be like, nah, this sucks. I don't like. I mean, to me, I can sort of come up in my mind with the reason why he would do it. I can find a reason. I can find an explanation. As I said, you know, he believes he's going to beat. You give him a fair chance at Cody, he believes he'll beat him. So in that regard, as long as it's a referee that's not going to screw Gunther, as long as it's not like Brandy Rhodes, who's clearly going to be on Cody's side, he just wants someone that, you know, I just need someone that's going to call it down the middle. And I genuinely believe Sammy will do that. He's the last real good guy, you know, and it's clear to see he's got a few issues with Cody at the moment. I think he'll call it down the middle. Gunther believed that. He chose Sammy. I think he could have had someone that could have stacked it in his favour a bit more, but I just don't see it as being like something that's ruined the feud or anything, you know. Plus, it set up the triple threat, as we said. Cody and Randy still need to continue their feud. We haven't seen Randy at all since WrestleMania, says Connor. Carr said, do we think Chad and an IC story could continue until Triple Mania? It could do. It could do, yeah. I don't know if the IC belt will be defended at Triple Mania, but whilst it's on Penta, it probably will. So, yeah. I mean, they're going to want to stack that show and have people tune into that show, and it's a 2-day show as well. So, I don't think it's impossible to see Penta or Chad's with the IC title defending it at Triple Mania. Days, with us knowing the card for Night of Champions, said Word Life Cena fan, how would we book Night of Champions for it to be a great PLE? I can't remember it off the top of my head. I know we looked at it yesterday. I don't think the card is quite there for it to be mind-blowing. I think in order for it to be mind-blowing, you might have to have returns like Randy and Brock and things like that. There are 6 matches. Seth Rollins, Bron Breakker. I think I'd be leaning Seth getting it. And the reason for that is because I'm quite excited by Roman Seth being at SummerSlam. You might have to do something, though, where Braun is looking like he might get it, and then accidentally the Vision get involved and cost him, and actually Seth gets the win. And I think then that could cause a bit of dissension within the Vision. I feel like within the Vision, we probably need to do some stuff. I feel like we need to do something where we can really get our teeth into some interesting Vision segments, because we're just not really getting any interesting Vision segments because of all the injuries. But it looks like Logan's back. Not to compete, but he can still be a presence. He can still be around the ringside area. He can still sort of trip people over and distract and, play a part. So I like Seth winning, because I think if Seth wins, that could set up Roman Seth, and I'm really interested in that. Bron Breakker could go after the Intercontinental. That was mentioned the other day, and I'm really down for that as well. And actually, we could dig into a bit of dissension within the Vision. I'm okay with that. I wouldn't go too OTT with it, because we're already doing a little summit with Bloodline, but I'm okay with that. There's a bit of history with Seth and Theory as well, so I don't know, man. I might be interested in having a little tease of something there, but maybe it's a bit too late in the day to do a bit of a story there. Maxine is an option as well, because she's not totally in the Vision, but it looks like she's going to come in. So could she play a part in this somehow? So maybe Maxine plays the part there. So I think there's a lot of moving parts. I've explained why I would have Seth win. Cody, Gunther, Sammy. I think that in regards to this, again, it's really hard. I feel like this is a show that sets up SummerSlam. So the truth is, do you want to book a show that's just really fun and really amazing? I mean, you could put the belt on Sammy and shock the world, or you could put the belt on Gunther. I think a lot of people would celebrate that, certainly online. But actually, if you want to do Cody Punk for the title at SummerSlam, you got to keep the belt on Cody. So sadly, I think this might be a show that sort of sets up SummerSlam more so than is just an amazing show on it in its own right. Tiffany against Jade. It's kind of hard to make that amazing, isn't it? Because, I mean, you either keep the belt on Tiffany, and I don't think anyone cares, or you put the belt on Jade, and I don't think anyone cares. I think what's actually going to happen is Charlotte will get involved. She'll cost Jade, and that sets up Charlotte Jade for SummerSlam. Again, this is a show that sets us up for SummerSlam. Trick Williams against Ricky. I think Ricky is just there to be beat. I think Trick is going to have a decent length run with this US belt. So I just see him getting past Ricky. I don't think there's too much drama there. Maybe Carmelo gets involved, but to be honest, I don't think we need it. I would just have Trick Williams beat Ricky. Io against Liv. This could be interesting because you got Roxanne and you got lots of drama there. I honestly, I would be quite interested in Roxanne costing Liv and then Io winning and having to decide who she goes after. Does she go after Rhea or does she go after Liv? And I think it would be really fun if she went after Rhea. Because I think Rhea Io is like one of the absolute best women's matches you can make. Their match last year at Evolution, I'm just so down to watch that again. I know we've seen it, but it was so good. I'm happy to see it again. It'd be like complaining about, I've got to watch Shawn Michaels get into The Undertaker again. Yeah, you have. And you know what? You're going to flipping love it. Shut up. Right? Io, Rhea are just so good in the ring. And actually, you know, you could do it so that Rhea says, like, I hoped you would choose me. You know, when we go against each other, it's just magic. And I just really want, you know, I want to add to my resume incredible matches. In order for me to do that, I have to face the best. I have to challenge myself against the best. If I want to be the best, I have to beat the best. And that is you. And, you know, let's steal the show. Something like that, you know? So you don't have to present it where it's a betrayal or they're upset with each other. It's honor. It's respect. It's two proud warriors going to war. I don't mind that. I think the match bangs. I think you get a real treat. I think you get arguably a women's match of the year contender. On the other side, you could maybe look at doing Roxanne Liv. If Roxanne costs Liv, or Raquel costs Liv, I mean, it could be that they outright turn, but if they even don't outright turn, it could just be enough where the cracks start showing and there's a betrayal. Liv turns on Roxanne, kicks her out of Judgment Day. Roxanne comes back, says, I'll see you at SummerSlam. Something like this, right? You could end up doing Liv Roxanne, Liv Raquel at SummerSlam. You could do an honourable women's match at SummerSlam, which would be an amazing match. I would really honestly not be down on watching Io, Rhea again. Then you got Jay against Oba. I think we're all expecting Brock to get involved. I think Brock gets involved. I think Brock costs Oba. That sets up Brock Oba. Jay wins. Jay wins, and I think you do this match. Depends, doesn't it? I was going to say, I think you do this match first because I think that, let's say Sammy wins, right? So Sammy wins the belt, wins it in the main event. I would have Jay right at the end just come onto the entrance stage and just look at Sammy and make it clear that that's your SummerSlam match. So I would do Jay Oba first. I think Brock getting involved is a big talking point. It would be live on ESPN. They did Oba Brock first in WrestleMania. So Jay Oba first. The winner of that we know is going to likely face the winner of Cody Gunther Sammy. Although if Oba wins, he will end up facing Roman. But I just don't think Oba's winning. I really think Jay's winning. I think Jay's winning, and I think he faces the winner of Cody, Gunther, Sammy. So in my mind, I'm thinking you do Jay Oba as the first match, and then that means that when we do the main event, which is the triple threat for the championship, you just have Jay come walking out on the stage, maybe with the rest of the bloodline. Imagine that. Imagine if the rest of the bloodline was there, Jimmy and Jacob. I don't know if Roman would be there, but they're standing on the entranceway just looking over at the new champion, making it very clear that they're on a collision course. So I think there's lots of potential for moving parts there. I do think SummerSlam looms large over this show. And I think that as a result, it makes it very challenging to make like this mind-blowing show. But I mean, you know, you got curveballs like Drew or Randy, you know, you might be able to do something there, Brock, but let's be realistic. WWE don't always bombard you with loads of stuff. They're not interested in just like stacking it full of surprises and craziness. Triple H famously said he'd rather watch a movie with one gunshot, and that gunshot means everything, rather than just people firing guns throughout the whole film. So his mindset is to keep things to a minimum in regards to shocks and swerves, because when they do happen, he wants them to matter. So we can't really expect Raquel to kind of turn on Liv and Brock to come back and Randy to come back and this to happen, and that's just not how Triple H books. And to be honest, he's probably right, you know. So a chunk of these matches are going to go without incident, you know. I could see Trick Ricky not really having much kind of happen in it. I could see maybe even Cody Gunther Sammy not having much happen with it. It's just a match. I do think Charlotte could get involved though. And I do wonder about like a Roxanne Raquel costing Liv, because I really don't think Liv wins. I mean, I'm pretty adamant it's Jay and Io that are going to win it. And I think it's because Brock gets involved. I don't know how Io gets it. To be honest, Io could just win. Io can beat Liv. So, interesting. Few thoughts there. Cody, Sammy, Gunther's going to be in the first hour. Have they announced that? I haven't seen that, if that's what's been announced. Daze, it's obvious Jay wins, said TJF. And then he'll go after Roman to be the next tribal chief. He's full of attitude. I think Jacob's going to be the one that attacks, not Brock, says TJF. Interested? Rapturous said, I wish that WWE would stop teasing matches if they're not going to happen for years, like Gunther or Roman versus Seth one last time. It's why I like Oba Brock and Gunther Seth a lot more, says Rapturous. Warrior said, I think I mistook Kindle for audio. Sonny said, I don't have an audio version. Oh, is that your book, Sonny? Sonny, I hope you're doing well. I got my wrestling figures back and a title today. I can't remember Eddie Guerrero in a suit in a figure, says Bruce. I don't think that's Mattel. I can't think of Mattel doing that. That must be a Jax figure, is it? Big Time said, Daze, with Lizzie Rain, she did feel a bit like Flavor of the Month, but all the buzz has gone away quickly. Between her, Mason Rook, Alba, Piper, I do wonder why so many British talents are missing spice. I don't think she is. I think she's fine. I think, like, when you first see her, it's obviously going to be more exciting because you don't know anything about her. Everything's new. The music is new. Her attitude is new. Everything about her is new. And that's obviously going to be exciting. And then you're going to get familiar with her. And that's normal. I mean, that happens to absolutely everybody. So I don't think she's missing any spice. I think she's an absolute ball of energy. I think that whenever she competes in a singles match, she's killed it. I think she's popular. I don't think she's working in a program at the moment. She's not really got like a storyline to get her teeth into. Obviously, they'll get something lined up for her very soon. I disagree. I think she's great. I think she's fine. I don't think she's missing any spice. Mason Rook as well had a decent match not long ago against Naraku. Mason Rook again didn't feature. I don't think he featured on this week's NXT. So he just had a week where he didn't feature. But, you know, the fans love chanting. He's big, he's bad, he'll body slam your dads. He's got a good size to him. I do think that, you know, he's a lump of clay that they can mold into a superstar. He still gives me indie wrestler vibes, more so than, you know, big superstar vibes. I think there's definitely things that we can do with presentation. So, you know, he's a work in progress. But, I mean, he's literally just walked in from progress. He's just kind of come in from the indie world. So lots of buzz around him because it's not often we get someone of his size and his agility. I think he's a significant player. I really do not agree. I think Mason Rook, Izzy Dame, I think they're absolutely fine. Nightbird said Oba needs it for his resume. I don't know if Brock's going to come and cost him. Jacob is going to cost Jay, so Roman has control of the bloodline. Jay is going to SmackDown alone. It wouldn't be good, says Nightbirds. I'm glad WWE has got Cyndi Lauper figure. They showed her holding it, said Suzanne. Alex said, the only thing I don't like about Lizzie is her entrance. Connor has gained a little weight, but he is still the same man, said Suzanne. Dort Knight said, Scottish people couldn't live in the US. Have you seen how they drink and the healthcare that's on offer in the USA? That's been brilliant, actually. I've really enjoyed looking at my timeline and just seeing how like people have been having so much fun over there. I do not expect the English to even get remotely close to that kind of level of connection with the people of Boston. I think that the Scots have sort of done themselves proud. To be honest, the Scots don't always get to go to these tournaments. So this is like truly special for them. They're there for a party as a result, you know. They're there to have a great time. And yeah, they've been brilliant. They've really done themselves proud and yeah, nothing but respect. I'm not sure the people of Boston are going to get that same level, though, of party from certainly the English. The English are going to go and drink. And I don't think they'll cause trouble. I really hope they don't. I hope we don't get embarrassed by our fans. But no, the Scots have been fantastic. I'd love for the Scots to get through. I'd love for the Scots to qualify. Which I don't think you'd find too many English people saying that, but I think they've been brilliant for this tournament. Absolutely brilliant. I feel like everyone's fallen in love with them. So it's just a silly sort of rivalry where I genuinely don't think English people have got an issue with Scottish people. It's just the Scots hate the English. So I see a load of interviews where English fans go, "Oh, I hate the Scots," and they're like, "Why?" And they're like, "Because they hate us," and that's it. They hate us, so we hate them. Well, I'm breaking that cycle. I don't hate the Scots. So I really do hope they get a result. I don't even know if they need a result, actually. They might have enough points to get through in third place. But I'd love for them to draw with Brazil. I'd love to see that result. 1-1 or 2-2 or something like that. Brazil draw. It probably won't happen, but it's going to be a really interesting game next week. I'm looking forward to that. Carr said, do we think we see Dominic tonight? So far, there's been no matches for that July pay-per-view. Well, I think so. I mean, I feel like that's probably next for El Grande. We do get El Grande tonight. So I feel like that's probably next because we know he won that Rey de Reyes. I don't know when he is going to get his match. I'm not sure if they actually said when that match is going to happen. So I could be wrong. They might have said it's going to be at Triple Mania, but yeah, I'm sort of thinking that feud now is done, obviously with OG El Grande. So I am expecting it to move on now. Big Time said, Daze, how was Callie as a performer in Evolve compared to Kendall? She's been called up, but is not mixing it with Kendall. Kalani, Lola, Tatum, she's just sitting in the back. She was good. Actually, in the very first Evolve match, it was a women's tag match. It was Kendall, I want to say it was Kendall and Carly Bright teaming together against Callie, and I'll have to go back and look. I genuinely can't remember who Callie's partner was. And I remember saying that it was Callie that stood out the most to me. The reason for that was because she got in the ring, she did big impactful moves. She's very athletic, hits the ropes hard like Bron Breakker, power slams. But not only that, not only was she doing some good explosive movements and some good-looking, tidy work, but she would go over to the camera and she'd trash talk to the camera. This is my ring. These girls don't know who they're in here with. And, you know, she's going off, like, looking down the camera, cutting a promo during the match. And this was the very first match on Evolve. So I remember looking at that going, that Callie Armstrong, she's got it, man. She's got it in the sense of very athletic, very explosive, nice looking moveset. It all looked really tidy, quite happy and confident to cut a promo. I mean, some girls, you know, they could talk to the camera during their matches. They could go over and say a few words, but I need to concentrate on my match, you know, and they don't want to do it. She's just like so ballsy. She's so confident, brash. I'm a signed up fan of Callie Armstrong. So she was the first Evolve Women's Champion, Callie. She won the belt, and then it all led to this big match, one of the biggest matches in Evolve history, where it was Callie as champion against Kendall for the championship. Really great match. I mean, it was a really great match. Kendall got it. And I think Kendall has really shown herself as matches went by. She's not as brash as Callie. She's maybe not even quite as athletic or as explosive, but she is more technical. She is she's got some really good sequences. She's got some really good movements. I love that like little knee that she does to kind of get round her opponent. Does it like a million times each match. She'll square up someone, she'll drop to one knee, and she'll kind of move round them that way. That'll get her into a position where she can go into a German or something, right? Then she's got another one where she'll come off the ropes and she'll just change. She'll just do this 90-degree turn. And she'll come off the ropes and she'll then start going this way. So the person's like, whoa, where's she gone? Before they know it, they're getting clattered with something. But obviously, you know, she's got the pulling down of the strap. She's got some brilliant suplexes, different suplexes. She's honestly, I mean, Kendall's just so impressive. But I would say that Callie is that girl that's right there with her. But I think Kendall's ceiling is probably higher when you look at the technical wrestling side. I think if you want to look at the character side, I think Callie is ahead. I mean, Callie is so confident. She's so brash. You know, she's kind of a bit like a Jada Parker. She is like a female in-ring athleticism, a female Bron Breakker. Attitude-wise, a bit of a Jada Parker. If Jada Parker and Bron Breakker had a kid, it'd be Callie Armstrong. That's probably the best way of putting it. She's got elements of both. I think she's going all the way. I really am not worried about her in the slightest. I think they're very high on Kendall because she's had some matches that have really opened eyes. She's got the ability of going in the ring and having matches that just consistently deliver like 4-star plus. She's that engaging with her selling, and you know, the structure of her matches, the pacing, and her moveset, the different sequences that she's got. So Kendall is just, it's hard to put into words, but she's got it worked out. She knows how to build the drama, how to sell, when to accelerate, what moves to put where. They've obviously worked out some different high spots and in certain places, and that works for her. She's got the strap, she's got the fan support. She just knows how to conduct the orchestra to deliver on a consistent basis 4+ star matches. Callie hasn't quite worked that out yet. So in ring, she's not hitting those same benchmarks, but it's still strong performances. But I do think that because of her size, because of her brashness, she's probably got a little edge when it comes to the character side, the promo side. She's going to be fine. She's going to be absolutely fine. WWE at the moment are fully invested in Kendall. Callie's time will definitely come. Calix is better than them all, said Miss Clown. I could see Brock's music hitting during the finals. Oba putting his attention to the Tron, just like everyone else, just for LA to come in from behind and hit Jay with a BFT. Maybe that then sets up Jay versus LA at SummerSlam. Okay. I'm not down on that. The only question I would have is that would mean that Oba wins. So he goes on to face Roman. Not down on that. That would then, I don't know what we would do with Brock. I am personally not a fan of Oba double duty. So you can do what you just said, and you can have Oba win him, and you can have Oba Roman. But I think we all know that we're going to do Oba Brock, because if you do Gunther Brock, it's going to feel really weird and like out of nowhere. And when do we do the third Brock Oba match? So I feel like SummerSlam, it's really hard to see SummerSlam not being Oba Brock. There's no word that it is. I just think it's hard to see that not being Oba versus Brock. So I feel like we've got to do that match. I feel like that match is penciled in already. Because we're not doing it at Night of Champions. And someone might make the argument that we do it at Saturday night's main event, but I don't see them doing that. I don't see Brock Oba going down at Saturday night's main event. It could do. It's just, again, when it comes to these kind of conversations, we're dealing with likelihood. What is more likely? Is it more likely we do the third Brock Oba match at SummerSlam and that's where we wrap it up? Or is it more likely that it goes down at Saturday night's main event? I think it's more likely it goes down at SummerSlam. So how do we get Oba winning King of the Ring? The only thing I can think is he does the double duty thing. I'm just not a fan of it. I think so many people complain about, why is this not person being used? Why is that person not being used? We've had conversations about how SmackDown's going to go down. It's going to go down to just being 2 hours, and how that's going to result in a lot of people not getting TV time. But yet here we potentially are going to see Oba in both of the main events of SummerSlam. I don't know, man. Retiring Brock on the Saturday, winning the championship, or going up against Roman on the Sunday. I'm just not. I just would prefer if it was Roman Seth, or it was a different match, rather than having Oba in both of those spots. But that is just a personal preference thing. I mean, it could be that that's what they end up booking. It could be that that's what where we end up going. But I just think that, you know, someone's going to... What do you do with Seth then? I mean, do you do Seth Braun instead again? Yeah, I don't know. There are so many ways that you can go. I don't know what WWE are going to choose. I honestly don't know which way they go, because I think there are several directions they can take. I don't think that Oba's winning King of the Ring is where I am at the moment. I don't think he wins King of the Ring. I think we get Oba Brock at SummerSlam. And if he doesn't win King of the Ring, that means Jay wins. And, you know, it sets us up in that way. So, I mean, listen, Night of Champions big because it's going to have big, big repercussions for SummerSlam. Of course it is. So we'll get some big answers next weekend. Days, I've been watching since the start, and I was in the lives every night, but I've not been in the past few years. I'm always on the phone to my friend watching wrestling. Said Spuddy Mikado, shout out to you, but Spudsy. I like your name. Yeah, I just appreciate the support, but just joining in the conversation as we just chuck things around. Again, I'm not claiming that I have the answers. I'm not claiming that I know what's happening. I haven't actually heard many, if any, rumors for SummerSlam. I think the only one I'd heard was that they were interested in Rhea JC, but now Rhea's injured. We don't know if she's even going to make it, right? I think the fact that she got removed from Night of Champions is obviously not a good sign. That means they had plans to do her in a match, and those plans had to change. You know, Tiffany Jade, I think it is, you know, in case of emergency, break glass type situation. I think that is very much not the original plan. I think the original plan was Rhea. I don't know what that match would have been as well. So maybe Rhea Jade's again? Not sure. But anyway, we'll have to see if we end up getting Rhea at SummerSlam. The chatter was it was going to be JC. But, yeah, I don't know. Even that's up in the air now. Rapture said, Days, the only reason I'm hesitant with Oba beating Roman this fast is I don't see anyone beating Oba for the title, especially if he beats both Brock and Roman, unless it's like some sort of cash-in. Yeah, that wouldn't worry me, actually. That wouldn't worry me because I think we've had Brock as champion, and the same thing was said about him. You know, I don't think you have to worry about, oh my God, this person's going to be too dominant. We're never going to get the belt off them because, as you said, cash-ins. Plus also, you know, if Oba upsets a GM or something, or Oba gets involved in something he shouldn't get involved in, he can always be punished by, right, well, if you want to get involved in other people's business, they're going to get involved in yours. You're going to defend that belt inside Elimination Chamber or whatever it might be, you know? I mean, we've seen championships be defended in the Rumble. We've seen championships being defended in Elimination Chamber. There's, you know, so many different ways that you can sort of stack the odds against a champion. As long as you tell the story right, as long as you know, kind of make it make sense, there's always so many weapons at your disposal as to, you know, I mean, you can do a fatal four-way where the other three put Oba through a table, and then, you know, there's a 1, 2, 3 in the ring or a submission, brand new champion. Oba didn't really lose. So, I mean, there's so many ways, as you said. Cash In being a good example. Chris said, if Oba wins King of the Ring, and instead of a title shot, he picks Brock, says Chris. I think I'd be a bit disappointed with that, because I think Brock has sort of made it clear that, you know, they're 1-1, and I think, like, I've got the feeling Brock's interested in a third match. Oba even said, I thought you would show up in that match when he faced Dominic. So I feel like Oba's kind of expecting Brock to show at some point. So for him to sort of throw away a world title opportunity to get his hands on Brock, and I don't even know if he'd be able to do that as well. I mean, I'm not even sure how that would technically work. I mean, maybe WWE could make a story about how they're forcing Brock to wrestle in SummerSlam against Oba or something. I don't know. There would need to be some stuff explained there for me. Because I feel like Brock is on the agenda anyway. I feel like Brock wants the match to prove that he's better than Oba. I feel like Oba's in a tournament where the prize is you go for a world title, which is, you know, he's never held, he's never won. That would be, you know, a big tick. That'd be a massive tick to, you know, win a world title this quickly. And you're for him to throw that away, I don't know. The reason why I'm chewing over it is because there is actually something there. Like, I don't think it's not stupid. I think it's, you know, I can see that it could happen. But I think there's a bit of work that would need to be done to sort of make it sit right with people. Because I think most people are under the impression this match is going to happen anyway. Most people are under the impression Brock wants it. So it feels like, are you just throwing away a title opportunity for really no benefit? Oba wins King of the Ring. Oh, we read that one. I'm looking forward to Monday Night Raw being in London, said Dean. Rational Gaze said, what's on the AAA cards? ML Fusion was amazing, but I'm going to watch it tonight. Yeah, 2 matches tonight. Tag match, which should be fun. So we have got Mini Vikingo, Dr. Wagner Jr. taking on Vikingo and Omos. That's one match. The other match that we've got is Rey Fenix and Laredo Kid taking on Lince Dorado. So that's a triple threat. Title is on the line. So that's pretty good. We haven't got a title match. It is for the Cruiserweight Championship. So we've got a title match. We've got a tag match. Homo Sapiens Rise, as Omos is going to be in action. And then we've also got El Grande. So El Grande is going to be talking. He's going to be on the show. It's his first appearance since Mask vs. Mask. So, goods. This is always, I mean, this is just their weekly show. So it's not like a special or anything. But it's always worth tuning in for. It's always a good watch. The El Grande return is just enough reason to watch, said Rational Gaze. I know why everyone's going to hate me for saying this, said Bruce, but I don't like Oba, and that's my choice. Yeah, no, I don't hate you for saying that. We've all got wrestlers that we like and we don't like. We've all got preferences. I mean, it's funny, isn't it? Because every promo, every match, every catchphrase, every moment is a moment that you judge. And we all judge those moments ourselves. So, you know, how do you feel when Oba's music hits? Do you feel an aura? When he's doing the walk, do you think it's cheesy? Do you think it's cool? Do you think it's forced? And it's just WWE trying to get people to copy it? Or do you buy into it? I think the general consensus is people, myself included, buy into it and we enjoy it. But yes, there are going to be people out there that are like, this is rubbish. This is cringe. This is forced. This is just, I don't get it. I don't see what people are seeing. So it's funny, isn't it, how all these moments are being sort of read into in various different ways. Some people will absolutely love Oba. Some people will like Oba. Some people will not really rate him. Some people will absolutely loathe him. There are people all over that scale, but not just for Oba, for every wrestler. But when we talk about majorities, I think the majority are obviously more on the high end when it comes to Oba. So, but yeah, no, you're not alone. There's going to be plenty that don't quite share in that opinion. Daze, how do we feel about the storylines with Gargano backstage, Kyrie, Alistair, Kofi, Javan, A-Town Down Under, Carrion? How do we feel about the storylines taking place backstage? Well, I like storylines taking place backstage. I feel like there should be a mixture. I mean, I feel like Kyrie, her story was being played out in the arena and backstage because, you know, there'd be, when there'd be a tag match, there'd be a bit of dissension and Asuka might have a go at Kyrie, like during a match or something. So hers wasn't just playing out backstage. We were seeing it at the ringside area. We were seeing miscommunication. So Johnny's story is seemingly exclusively playing out backstage at the moment, but it's not much of a story, is it? It's just him being comatose. I mean, basically, they just seemingly have not had anything for him to do for months and months and months. One day, someone's going to ask him about this. Someone's going to ask him about what did they say to you when they brought this to you? What did they say? Did they say, we want you to just lie down and act comatose for the next 3-4 months? Or was there another plan in place? Or what were they telling you? I mean, to be honest with you, I don't think this is a storyline that they had planned. I think, if I'm a guessing man, what's actually happened here is that they had a plan. It might have involved Tommaso Ciampa, because obviously they were doing a bit of DIY stuff at the time when he left in the tag division. And my guess is they had no plans for Johnny as a singles wrestler. They had plans for DIY as a tag team. And Tommaso leaving all of a sudden means, what do we do with Johnny? The problem you've got is when you've got the Bloodline and you've got Sammy, Cody, Gunther titles, women's tag titles, and all this stuff, an issue like what are we going to do with Johnny is sadly quite low down on the run sheet, you know? Sadly, it's like you could be in a 3-hour meeting and what are we going to do with Johnny gets 5 minutes at the very end. And that's just where he is at the moment because he's never really been built on the main roster. And so I do feel sorry for him being in that position. He definitely deserves better. But I don't think this is a story where someone's gone, do you know what would be great? Do you know what would be really good? If we just have Johnny lying depressed backstage for ages, for months. And people go, oh my God, that's so clever. I really think this is the consequence of something else. Be that a Tommaso Ciampa release or Tommaso Ciampa leaving, you know, and us not having any plans. And it being so far down the pecking order, we just haven't really got to it. So let's do this until we find, like, a solution. We don't have the answer right now. He's not in any of our plans. So let's, you know, NXT needed him for a bit, and they used him in NXT. Do you remember he was in that Fatal 4-Way, ended up winning it and having a match against Miles Bourne? So I think he is available for NXT to use if they want him. I don't know why NXT haven't used him more, because I feel like he could have been a good asset, actually, for NXT. Could have been good for him to have gone to NXT and had a little run down there. Not that it's him going back or a step backwards. I think people look at it wrong. I think if you're on the main roster and they just don't have anything for you at the moment, well, you can pretend to be comatose. You can sit in catering. Or how about you go to NXT and get some TV time and work with some young talent? And eventually, they'll have something for you on the main roster and you go back. So I'm not down on that. But either way, even NXT hasn't seemingly found a use for him. Or he's not been on their radar. They've used him once and that's enough. So, you know, I'm not a fan of it. I can sort of understand how it happens, but I'm not a big fan of it because I think it's too good. I think it's a great talent, but yeah, I think like, and I'm not using this as an example. I do think a lot of fans just expect everything to fit into place perfectly. I can't quite tell sometimes, like, do some fans not really understand what goes on and what the wrestling business is like, or really what a lot of businesses are like, where things aren't fitting together perfect all the time, and there is overlap, and there are things that fall between the cracks, and things aren't perfect. Do they just enjoy? Do they get enjoyment from picking at that? Is that something that people enjoy, like, focusing on? Or is it that they don't understand that that's what happens, you know? I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. To me, a lot of this stuff is understandable. I can understand why it happens, because you've got more wrestlers than TV time. You need to have more wrestlers than TV time because you're going to have injuries. You're going to need rotation. And, you know, you're going to have periods, even big names like Hijo are going to have periods where they're not in a big story. Julia is not in, you know, a big story, or Stephanie, she's out injured at the moment. Randy has been absent. CM Punk's been absent. AJ Lee came back. She's gone away again. You know, it's a very fluid situation. It's very, very fluid. It's not like we've got everyone till this point. This person's here, now they're gone. That person's in, now they're gone. Now TKO want you to change the budget and release a load of people. I don't know how much warning they got on that, so that changes things again. Like, it is so fluid that really what you're trying to do is you're trying to deliver stories and matches and shows in an ever-changing, moving environment. And that is hard. I mean, it is hard. I do have great sympathy for them trying to constantly move forwards in the most constructive way possible when you've got all of this stuff moving around. So someone like Johnny, you know, he's not in the plans. It's hard, or seemingly hard, for them to find a way of bringing him into the plans. You know, right now they want to focus on Carmelo. Right now they want to focus on Trick. Right now they want to focus on Ricky Saints. Trying to warm Johnny back up again and get Johnny back into the conversation is proving difficult for them at the moment. So what they've done is they've leaned into the Comatose thing, and they've got Sammy speaking to him. I do not think this is on purpose. I think this is just one of those let's make the best of this situation type situations. We're in this situation. We've got to make the most of it. We've got to make the best out of it, right? So let's have him. Let's make him Sammy's confidant. So we're doing that at the moment, and I do feel like it's going to lead to something. I do feel like there is a plan now where Johnny comes to Sammy's rescue, or, you know, something's going to happen where Johnny comes down and he's finally out of this thing, and it's going to connect to Sammy, and the seeds for that have been planted now for a while. So yeah, I do wonder that sometimes. I do wonder if it's like people just, I don't know, think this should 100% be a puzzle that fits together all the time, and every wrestler's being used and no wrestlers sat in catering and everything's just perfect. I think there has to be an understanding that is just not how the world works. That is never, ever how wrestling has worked. It's not how AEW work. It's not how any wrestling promotion works. Like, if I was in charge, it would not be 100% perfect where every wrestler's being used and they're all in amazing stories and everyone's loving it because they can't believe how well they're all being booked. I mean, the truth is you're going to have people that are going to be enhancement talent. You're going to have mid-carders. Everyone's going to want to be the top of the card. Everyone's going to want to be the champion, but only a few people can be. You're going to have people that aren't going to make TV because when there's an injury, you're going to need them to step in. You're going to have the company that owns the wrestling promotion saying, we need you to cut the budget, so you're going to have to make some tough decisions you don't want to make. You're going to have people that get let go, which then changes stories. You're going to have injuries like what we're seeing with Rhea right now. You're going to have big plans for someone, and then it bombs, and all of a sudden you're like, what the flip do I do with this person? You know, you've got a Jade Cargill that looks amazing, but just isn't connecting. But, you know, you want her to get over, so you got to keep working with her. But every time she's on TV, the segments and the ratings are not well received. But, like, when do you go, this ain't going to work? When do you pull the plug on it? When do you give up on it? Or do you just try and keep going, hoping that it is going to click at some point? Because if it does click, that's going to be great. That's going to really be great. I mean, there's, you know, what if we'd given up on John Cena when he was the prototype? We'd never have got John Cena. What if we'd given up on Stone Cold when he was the ringmaster? Never would have got Stone Cold. What if you'd given up on The Rock when he was Rocky Maivia? You never would have got The Rock. What if you'd given up on Triple H when he was Hunter Hearst Helmsley? Never would have got Triple H. I mean, it's hard. I have got sympathy for them. They are trying to book in this ever-changing environment, you know. Recently, I've been a bit anti-WWE, said Spudsy. I'm just not enjoying it at the minute. Doesn't motivate me. I'm liking AEW at the minute, says Spudsy. Daze, check out my Sammy post. I've tagged you DWO for life. How long have I got? 7 minutes. 7 minutes. It's nice. Yeah, it's good. I was just reading some of the other things I'd just been sent. Where are we? 6 minutes. General election is trending at the moment. There hasn't been any movement there, has there? Because there is chatter of there being, like, you know, a general election that could happen in the UK. No. Okay. Daze, do we think WWE need to give Nakamura, Ilya, and Johnny matches on main events? They can do. I'm not crazy about main event. I think it serves a purpose. I think where you've got talent that need to just get a bit rid of the ring rust, you know, I think that is where you've got talent that needs to get rid of ring rust, that is a good show for them. But they only do a couple of matches each week. So, I mean, yeah, you can give them a match, but they might not have another match for a month. So how much does it help? I don't know. I don't even know who's, been appearing on it, to be honest, because it serves a couple of purposes. I think it's good for a Maxine. I think it's good for a, B-Fab. I think it's good for a Johnny, as you said. I don't think it makes a great difference because there's only a couple of matches a week. So, you're going to have to rotate through an awful lot of people. I mean, to be honest with you, it probably needs to be longer. I don't know if they even do anything before Raw. I'm not sure. But, they probably need to be doing more of that kind of a thing so that they can get more people the chance to wrestle in front of a crowd and the chance to try some stuff. The other thing it does as well is NXT talent that's ready to come up. NXT talent that are ready to come up, they can get experience of working in front of an audience of that size. So, it's great for them as well. It's great for them to adjust and actually move to the main roster, when they're about to go. So, a Tatum Paxley right now would be really good on main event. A Tony D'Angelo would be good because they wrestle a lot in front of the PC crowd that's a few hundred people. When are they wrestling in front of Raw and Smackdown crowds? Plus also it means they get to hang around with the roster backstage, means they get to have a chat with Triple H, means that They get to experience a ring walk and being in gorilla and just the whole, situation. So that when they get called up, it's not brand new. Like they've done it before thanks to main events. So main event's a weird one. I feel like it really does serve a purpose. But the problem you've got is there's so many people that need to use it. Be that the top NXT talent. Be that people that aren't on TV much at the moment. Be that people that need to develop, like a BFAB, like a Maxine. Those people all need kind of regular main event appearances that actually that show feels like it needs to be bigger. It feels like it needs to, do you know what I mean? Kind of cater to quite a few people on quite a regular basis. So yeah, you can absolutely put them on. Is it going to make a massive difference? Is it going to help much? I don't think so. Just because so many people need to get onto that show. That's because we've said, haven't we, that the lack of house shows is a real problem at the moment. So the lack of house shows is, problematic. Let's move this over here. Okay, we're going to be underway with this very, very soon. Layla Diggs and Callie Armstrong against Bailey Lyra was on main event the other day, says Bonkers. That one's, I want to see that match because it's, two upcoming talents I'm excited by. I must admit, I don't get it. Bailey Lyra, I don't mind them having an appearance. They won't use that week, I'm guessing, for the show. So put them on main event. But Callie and Layla are seemingly so far away from that level that, that just seems a little bit of a waste to me. I feel like there's others that could have really benefited from, being in that position instead. Yeah, it's a weird one. It's an interesting one. Like main event, I think it's a really good thing. There's a real purpose to it. But I think, as I said, so many people need it that you could be on it one week and then not go back on it for a month. And then at that point, has it helped you much? Okay. Let's go over to AAA. We're going to get a different flavor now. Big Time said, Blake Monroe's booking has been so rocky since joining WWE. I'm not saying strap the rocket, just based off where we're coming from, but it has been bumpy. It's really bumpy at the moment, isn't it? Because, coming soon. A lot of people are very frustrated by that, and understandably so. It's coming soon. So I think we just need to get her in, get her going, honestly. Okay, we've just got music playing. We should be underway with this very, very soon. Okay, here we go. I think the music stopped, so looks like we're going to be underway with it. Now. Right. I don't know anything about exclusive content, but did we see Dude Perfect against WWE Superstars? No, I didn't. Dean said, why do some wrestlers find it hard to connect with the fans? Well, it's the hardest thing to do, really. If you connect with the fans, then you're over. Really, it's called getting over. And that's, there's a famous quote from, I think it was the $1 Million Man. He said it can take a lifetime to get over, but when you're over for life. So you can try different gimmicks. You basically have got to connect. You've got to mean. It's got to be that when you come out in front of the crowds, you get a reaction, right? And you're going to get a reaction because people care, people feel something. And that it's hard to do that. Certainly when there's so many wrestlers that are trying to do it, So many wrestlers that are trying to connect. How do you stand out from the crowds? It's challenging. It is very, very difficult. Some people like Oba can do it because they just look so amazing. Some people like Oba have just got that aura immediately, But then, you know, how does a Johnny connect? I mean, the way Johnny would connect would be by having regular matches and having regular bangers, just like Carmelo did. But then if he's not getting the opportunity to do that, he hasn't got the size of Oba to connect. Oh, hello. Oh, is that the Mexican? Oh, that's been all over social media, hasn't it? That Mexican duck goose thing. Apparently that duck goose thing was with the fans at the football. I don't know if that's the one, but there we go. Okay, what are we doing here? Okay, it's going to be the tag match first. It's going to be the tag match. Omos and Vikingo. Okay, Omos making his way down. Vikingo making his way down. This is going to be our opening match for AAA. Daze, are we still doing superstar videos for each wrestler and the community video stuff? Are we doing superstar videos for each wrestler? What do you mean? Superstar videos for each wrestler. Oh, the folder things. Community thing, yes. The problem with the community folder is that we were only getting enough really to do an episode every 3 weeks or so. And obviously the past couple of weeks I've just completely fallen behind with X, so I don't I need to sit down and spend a whole evening really doing nothing but just catching up on my notifications. So community thing, yes, definitely. I'm just behind on it. That's the only problem. In regards to individual superstar videos, it's been really hurt by the fact that a few accounts have been shut down on X because obviously WWE have really changed the way that you can use their content now. So a lot of the things that were in the folders were like just little quick clips from old shows, or maybe they were botches or, you know, things along those lines. And as a result, a lot of that stuff has now been deleted. It's been automatically deleted because accounts have been deleted. So I would say one of the biggest setbacks to the channel has happened in the past couple of months with this community content change, this copyright thing. I mean, you know, my TikTok account's been shut down, my Facebook account's been shut down, my Instagram's been shut down. I lost something else as well. I can't remember what it was. So, I mean, the whole shorts that I was putting out has just completely, you know, fallen apart. But then a lot of stuff that was in the folders that I was building up, a lot of that's just automatically been deleted. So that has made me look at it and go, is it even possible now to do those videos if all that content is now no longer available to kind of react to and commentate over? I don't even know. I think there's some folders that are okay. But then there's some folders that have just been absolutely decimated. So, again, that is another challenge that's kind of making it hard to make any progress at the moment. You kind of, it's kind of a bit like, you know, 2 steps forward and then all of a sudden 3 steps back. So that is now going to take more thought as to what does that look like moving forward. But that's been the issue there. Okay, we are underway. Bruce said it's a joke, but keep going. Yeah, I don't blame them for it. The only thing about it is that, you know, it was all okay, seemingly okay, and then out of nowhere now they're cracking down on it. So it's the fact that it was acceptable and now it's not acceptable. So the bottom line is the landscape has changed. The landscape has drastically changed. And so now it's like you're having to start again. We're trying to figure out what the right way forward is. So I do think fun videos for each individual wrestler is still possible, but I think it's definitely more challenging now. I think it's definitely more challenging. And it was not easy to begin with, to be honest. So I don't know. This is why at the moment my focus is streams, unseen, try and find a way of getting some sort of reaction thing back. However that looks. That's where my focus is at the moment. Kick out there by Wagner, so we are underway. I only caught the tail end of last week's show. Mr. Organa retained their title, says Suzanne. TJF said, no worries, thought I'd ask. Yeah, no, it's a good question because we haven't really updated on that in a while. And I think it's just worth everyone knowing that the landscape has drastically changed. I'm sure people know anyway. I'm sure there's lots of other content creators that are like talking about it. So I'm sure people are aware. Okay, we are underway. Tag match starting us off. Big boot coming in there by Vikingo. Another big kick as well. Vikingo going against the ropes. He's up. He's bang being slammed down there by Wagner. Dr. Wagner Jr. looking out at the crowds. Dead Kirby said, what if Jacob takes out Jay? That could give us Ober Jacob. Would we like to see that? Why would that give us Ober Jacob? Surely that would give us Jay Jacob at SummerSlam. I mean, Jacob wouldn't take out Jay and then take his place in the final, surely, because he hasn't done anything to get to that. So, I'm thinking it would be Jacob Jay at SummerSlam. I mean, we've got 6 matches, so if Jay gets taken out, I don't know if they'd have a replacement. I don't know how you'd even work that, or if it would just be a case that Ober would be the automatic winner. So Dead Kirby, shout out to you, buds. Tag being made, the big man coming in. Here's Omos. Omos stepping into the ring. Got Mini Vikingo over against the ropes. I do enjoy watching Mini Vikingo, He had a match not that long ago with Vikingo that was so entertaining. Kick coming in there by Vikingo. Dorian on the outside as well, getting involved. So this is really little and large. Look at the size difference here with Mini Vikingo and Omos. Omos coming over. Big chop coming in. Look at the size. It's mental, mate. Mini Vikingo is like what I expect Omos to have for dinner. Elbow drop there by Omos. And again, driving down these elbows. Omos picking up Mini Vikingo. Tag being made. Vikingo coming in. He's got him, and he's got him up in the air at the moment. Oh, Vikingo goes over. Mini Vikingo is down. Vikingo is down. Mini Vikingo making that tag. In comes Wagner. Clothesline. Another clothesline. Going against the ropes. Wagner. Bang. Down goes Mini Vikingo. Big knee coming in there by Wagner. He's got Vikingo on his shoulders. He's looking to drive him down, which he does. Going for the cover to kick out. We're carrying on. TJF said, with you being 21, what age does Lucha Daze first climb on the shelf? What year? I can't remember what year. It was like 2016, wasn't it? So that'd be about 10 years ago, so I was 11. If that was 2016 and we're in 2026 now, and that was 10 years ago, I was 11 years old then. And, I mean, I was very mature for my age, to be honest. I think wrestling does that, doesn't it? Vikingo in the corner. Bang! If you're into wrestling, I think you are just slightly ahead of other people when it comes to maturity. So, yeah, I was 11, but I was very, very mature for my age. Bruce, shout out to you, buds. Oh, mini Vikingo, planting Vikingo. 1, 2, oh, he got him. That was quick. I thought this match was still going to go on for a while, actually. Oh, Omos grabbing mini Vikingo. So mini Viking, that match wasn't long. Oh, man, I thought we were just kind of getting settled into this now. I was not expecting it to. Perhaps they want to give the championship match, like, plenty of time, you know? Right now, we got Omos. Perhaps they're going to be giving... into the ring post. Bang! Big clothesline. Big, big clothesline. Right now, he's going over. He's trying to grab those ring steps. Oh, someone's come down. It's Galeno. I always want to say Gigante or something like that, but Galeno. The younger brother of Wagner. He's like the monster of AAA. He doesn't look that big compared to Omos. But he is their monster. He is big compared to an average lucha, of course. Ring steps being used. Steve. Hello, Steve. Jay, being involved in anything at the top end is just not my favourite. He's just missing something. I felt that way when he was World Heavyweight Champion. I do think he's going to win King of the Ring, and that's disappointing, said Steve. TGF said 11. Wow, Mini Vikingo's got nothing on you. I taught him everything he knows, to be honest. We're backstage. We got Dominic Mysterio. Only one man holds this AAA Mega Championship. Only one man is heading to Triple Mania as the main event. And only one man will be remembered forever as King of the Luchadors. I choose my moments. I am Dominic Mysterio. I am the Mega Champion of AAA. So Dominic just letting the world know he is the champ. He is the only champ. But we do have another champion that's going to be in action next. This is going to be the Cruiserweight Championship that's about to be defended. Right. Not only is Jay going to win King of the Ring, he is also going to beat Cody at SummerSlam. 4 letters, 1 word, yeet, said Jose. Okay, we are at commercial break right now, and they're just showing us some of the items you can get from WWE Shop. You can get a Flammer shirt. You can get a AAA mask shirt. You can get a Los Americanos shirt. You can get Mr. Iguana Laiesca, is it? That you can buy, replica. And a replica of that AAA Mega Championship. So lots of AAA goods available. Carl said the first match was good. Retro Mania said we can't see anything. We're waiting for the Fox broadcast. Oh, why? Why is it not showing where you are? Word Live Cena fan said, Daze, hopefully Ludwig knows not to feed his duck bread. Yeah, good shout. Good shout. We did find that out, didn't we? We did find that out that actually it's quite surprising that you shouldn't feed ducks bread. That was quite surprising. I want to get a Mr. Iguana shirt, said Suzanne. Jay being involved. Oh, we read that one about Jay being involved. Are we watching it in English? Said Magic. Yes, I'm watching it in English. We've got English commentators. We've got Corey Graves, JBL. I think Rey Mysterio is with them as well. So they are the commentary team on YouTube for this. We are at commercial break, and at the moment we've just got a graphic on screen, as we said, for WWE Shop. Rob said, I'm still shocked that they show El Grande walking, not only with his duck out, but with his duck in his hand. Kids, watch these shows. Listen, I don't mind. I've got so much respect for El Grande that I don't mind watching him walking around with his duck in his hands. I heard that that's why it all kicked off in that elevator. Because that lovely old man, that very humble, lovely old man, he got into the elevator. And apparently, El Grande's missus, she had his duck in her hands. And they were both squealing with delight. And it was quite the scene, to be honest. I think all three of them were squealing with delight. And, you know, understandably, the old man was like, get a room. You know, I don't need to be confronted with this. I just want to go to my flat. And this is when El Grande turned nasty. From what I heard, he started beating the old man round the face with his duck. That's what I heard. Swinging his duck around, smashing the old man in the face with it. And it's quite the scene. So I don't know if any of that's true. It's all just allegations, but... Okay, we're backstage. We're back from commercial break. It's the clown mask, said Rational Gaze. Sonny said, my Wi-Fi just went out again. Carr said, are we doing a match score for that first match? Can do. Might as well. I was just going to chill, to be honest. I feel sorry for that duck, said M. Rouse. It loved it. It loved it. Sick mass, said Jeremy. Okay, we just got the video package right now as we are building towards our next match. So, video package for this triple threat. Big K said, that's one resilient duck. Okay, so we just got the history here of what's gone down. That's kind of led us. There's been a few twists and turns with Fenix and Laredo. Obviously, we saw that title change not long ago. Sonny says, read that. A soul in need. My soul is drowning in misery and despair. Where's the light? Where's the happiness? All this water is choking me. My lungs fill with water. Where's my LA knight in shining armor, says Sonny. Sonny, thank you. Powerful. Although I don't like the imagery of you choking and drowning in water. So there we've got Rey Fenix winning that new championship, or becoming the new champion. So Triple Mania goes down on the 11th and 13th of September. Triple Mania 34. M-Tipper, hello, said it just came by to drop a like. Hope all is well. 4 a.m. here. I'm dead tired. I know that's feeling, but it's 3:22 here at the moment, so respect. Okay, here is Laredo, kids. He's making his way down. JBL said this is one of the greatest of all time. Liam said, I recently discovered that I could make fudge with just chocolate chips, sweetened condensed milk, vanilla extract, and a thick pot on slow heat. I tried it with dark chocolate chunks. And I've tried it, says Liam. Oh, what, you tried it? And it was good. Respect. Bruce, shout out to you, bud. Here's Lince making his way down. That's a lovely entrance robe, isn't it? He's channeling his inner Hugh Hefner. Laredo, king, not kid anymore, says Jose. Suzanne, shout out to you. Respects. I think you deserve a trophy. Thank you, Suzanne. Okay, here's Rey Fenix. Always a fun watch. Carr said, I hope Laredo hits the Destroyer DDT tonight. Do you want some? It's easy, says Liam. I'm watching my weight. Thanks, buds. I've been eating a bit too much Ben & Jerry's, and I'm getting a bit too... One of their flavors is called Chunky Monkey. It's literally got me on the tub. It's just literally me doing that, and it says Chunky Monkey. I'm heading in the wrong direction at the moment when it comes to. It's not bad. It's not bad. I'm just. I have to turn down your fudge. I'm afraid. Thank you, though. Okay, Rey Fenix has made his way down. Perhaps we're not going the full hour. They do that, actually, AAA, thinking about it. I'm kind of sat here a bit bemused why that first match was so short. But, yeah, perhaps we don't have 35 minutes. Perhaps we got 20 minutes or something. Okay, Rey Fenix. Jennifer said, damn it, Daze. Now I want some ice cream. Sorry, buds. It's good. I always want flipping Ben & Jerry's. I could eat a pot of Ben & Jerry's a day easy. Not easy. Okay, there we go then. This championship being held up. I can understand that. I'm chunky myself. I'm trying to lose it, said Suzanne. It's hard, isn't it, Suzanne? You have to do, like, exercise. I just want to sit here and just watch wrestling. That's all I want to do. Okay. Let's go. This should be fun. Charging over, big forearm smash. Coming in. Oh! Michinoku driver and save being made there by Lince. I like Lince's gear. I like that. I can't even see what I mean, it's just like this, like, explosion splattering of colour. Reminds me a bit of when someone's got a canvas and they're just squirting paint all over it. Like, but I think it is actually pictures. Oh, bang. Okay. Heads his takeover. Right now we got Fenix in there with Lince. Lovely. Hip toss. Drop kick. Look good. To the outside goes Fenix. Oh, Lince. Ah, look at that. Into a backbreaker. Lovely stuff. Lovely work. 1, 2. Shoulder up. Shoulder up. Okay. Rey Fenix. He's looking for a handshake here. Rey Fenix and Lince, and they are shaking hands. Roll up there by Lince. 2. Kick out there by Rey. Kick coming into the midsection. Going over against the rope. Springboarding. Oh, back elbow. Duck underneath against the ropes. On his feet. Oh. I tell you what, the crowd are so good, man. They're so good. Bang. Drives him down. Michael said, Daze, my cousin's husband is your lookalike. Didn't realise there was 2 sexy guys out there. Okay, first match, very close between good and great. Comes out as good end, top end good. So good 97 for that opening match. Trip there by bang. Laredo kids. Moving out the way. Lince. Big back body drop on the outside. Big air. Really big air. Right now he's climbing up. Laredo. Bang. Look at that. Great work. Great work. Landed on top of both of them on the outsides. A world-class risk taker. Back in the ring goes Lince. This man, 5-star matches, said Richards. The El Grande mask is 40,000 with a few days left, says Jose. Liam said Ben & Jerry's is so expensive. Well, it depends where you get it, to be honest. I mean, you can find it for like £3 a tub, like $2.99. If you don't find it on any sort of sale, it's like £5 something. But you can find it for like £3. So, I mean, I don't have it every day. What I tend to do is eat half of it. So, you know, and then I'll have half the next day. Then I'll have a day of not having it. Probably get through about 3 tubs a week. Maybe 4. So, I gotta cut down though. Really gotta cut down. They're just so nice. They're so easy to eat. Okay, right now, Laredo looking out at the crowds. Fans are cheering his name. He's going up, moonsault. Oh, I thought you might have overshot it for a second then, but he hadn't. 1, 2, shoulder up. Shoulder up. Bang, shot coming in. Yeah, he goes to the outsides. Coming in, big back body drop. He goes down. Clothesline. kick. Duck underneath, round the back. Rake in the back. Ah, backstabber. Backstabber. Over in the corner, moonsault. He's going over again for another moonsault. Second moonsault, Lince Dorado in control. He's going up again. And bang, feet up. Lince gets caught. Right now. Whoa, lovely work. Bang, double stomp. Shot coming in by Lince. It's a really good triple threat, this. Chop coming in. Crowd are really bringing some energy for this. Forearms coming in there by Laredo. Rey Fenix is in the corner. Fans making noise. I really like how everyone has had a bit of time to shine, especially Lince. I think Lince's look really good in this match. Rey Fenix running on that top rope with that big kick. Down goes Laredo. Big crossbody to the outside. Down goes Lince. Back in the ring goes Rey Fenix. Laredo doesn't quite know where he is. He's on the shoulders of Rey Fenix. And as we said, the crowd really, really making their voices heard. There's a lot of fun, a lot of energy, as always with AAA. It's a good triple threat, Suzanne. What does Fenix have to do to get past Laredo? Okay, right now, Lince back in. Shot coming in there by Rey Fenix. Rey Fenix and Lince just exchanging a few blows at the moment. AAA, they just know how to entertain really well, said Shining Wizards. Big boot coming into the midsection there by Fenix. Fenix. That was nice by Lince. Grabbing Fenix's legs, throwing him over so he kicked Laredo. Lovely. Springboard into a double stunner. Lince. Oh, I tell you what, Lince was really flipping close. Lince was really flipping close. Fans are applauding away. Okay, he gets pushed back into the corner. Super kicks coming in. More kicks coming in as well. Boom! Wow! Double destroyer DDT. Oh, that's a shame, actually, that doesn't get the finish. I sort of feel like it borderline deserved to get the finish. Yeah, really good. Really impressive. Laredo looking so good here. Damn, said Suzanne. Laredo in control. I think this match is going to get a really good score, and it really deserves it. Shot coming in there by Rey Fenix. Down goes Laredo. Now Lince goes up. Using Laredo, jumping off him, launching himself at Rey Fenix, who was up in the corner. Yeah, I can understand now why they kept the first match short, because they wanted this to cook. This is the main focus, isn't it? Right now, we've got Lince, we've got Rey Fenix there, both in the corner. Oh. Hurricanrana. Lince in control. The crowd is electric. Oh my God. Okay, there's Laredo. Yeah, Laredo Kids is in a good position here. People are really enjoying Laredo working as a heel, and I must agree, I think he's doing a great job. I think he's doing a great job working heel. Muscle Buster connects, though, by Rey Fenix, and it's Rey Fenix that manages to get it. So, really fun triple threat there. I didn't expect Lince to pick up the victory, but yeah, no, really good. Loads of action. The Destroyer DDT was very eye-catching. The Hurricanrana was really eye-catching. Obviously, that Muscle Buster. Always a great go-to. But yeah, Lince pushed off the top. Laredo goes with the splash. Knees come up. It's the Muscle Buster finish for Rey Fenix. Drives him down. 1, 2, 3. It's good. It's going to get praise. It's going to deserve that praise. Rey Fenix then keeps that championship belt. We've still got El Grande coming up. Jose said that's the second best match of the week behind Jay and Javon. Rey Fenix then just with the fans. Celebrate him. Okay, they're just showing that mask is up for auction at the moment, as was mentioned earlier. I think it's still at 40,000. I think it's going to stay there, actually. I think it'll stay at 40,000 until we get to the final moments, and then it'll, you know, probably shoot up a little bit more. I don't know what it ends at. Okay, El Grande coming up next. Get your thoughts in for that last match. It was an incredible match, said Bishop. Okay, I wondered what they were promoting there, but they're just promoting, I believe, some sort of like either upcoming TV taping or a house show. But we know that we've got AAA special coming up soon. Next month, actually. Americano coming up next. Jennifer says, yet again, AAA is outdoing Smackdown. Do you know, honestly, it's got to the point now where I'm not even surprised. It's honestly come to the point now where, I mean, we could wax lyrical about it and just go, oh my God, you know, isn't it such a great show? But I think I'm starting to move past that now. Now it's just like I've accepted it. I've just accepted that, yeah, this is the show. I mean, if you're going to watch it, it's going to satisfy. It's going to be amazing. You're going to enjoy it. And, you know, maybe there'll be a week where you tune in and it's not as good. That's fine. That's life. But, you know, what we just saw there with that match is the sort of match that you just come to expect now, isn't it? It's not a fluke. It's not out the ordinary. It's just what you come to expect. Yeah, really good. And I think this segment will be good as well. I mean, if this was like Raw or SmackDown, it would be the person talking, and, you know, there might be some interesting bits in there. Then someone will kind of interrupt, and, you know, it might end in a little bit of a brawl. But actually what we've been seeing is that they're a little bit more creative than that in AAA. I mean, we've been having things like Chad wearing that shirt, you know, saying your missus got fired. The contract signing, they didn't even touch. No one got put through a table. If that was main roster, someone would be put through the table. But actually, that's where Chad turned around and went, you know, you can't touch me before we have the match. And the other stipulation is I want your missus gone from this company. And again, you're like, oh my God, that is so good. So I don't know what to expect in this segment now, but there's every chance that we end it and we go, oh, that was so creative. That was kind of not quite what I was expecting. Or that's not what you get on Raw and SmackDown, blah, blah, blah. So let's see what they're going to cook up here. They might play this one, Route 1. I mean, it might be what we just said. Promo and then a bit of a brawl after as we kick off a new feud. But I don't know. They've shown that they are so creative. I think they put so much thought into stuff that I really won't be shocked if this is something a bit juicier than that. So we are at commercial break. Carl said maybe Rey Mysterio comes down to announce something about July 25th. Maybe. I just checked. The mask, it hasn't increased. It's still at 40,000, said Word Live Cena fan. Yeah, I can believe that. I think when it first went up, there was a flurry of like people wanting to, you know, have that top bid. So I can believe that. And then I think now it's, you know, just going to probably see it through. It's probably going to reach its kind of final hour, and then that's where there'll be that other flurry. Okay. Oh, yeah, we have got Ray. Ray is backstage. I want to congratulate Fenix. We're negotiating with the GMs of Raw, SmackDown, and NXT to make it possible. Does it mean we'll see more collaboration between AAA, SmackDown, NXT, and Raw? He said, of course, we're in active negotiations. We're going to have a big announcement about an NXT title defense in AAA. The first defense of the NXT women's title in Mexico. Lola is going to be taking on La Hydra. That's next week's main event. Wow. We're very close to bringing a former WWE World Champion who has never wrestled in AAA. Very excited. The deal hasn't been signed or sealed yet. More information next week. So a former WWE champion that's never competed in AAA. Jinder Mahal. That's what I'm saying. Jinder, modern day Maharaja. Oh my God, it's going to be Jinder Mahal. It's going to be Bob Backlund. Bob Backlund is going to come to AAA. So good. That's good, though. That's exciting. Suzanne said, I wonder who that is. Okay. Keep getting your votes in. You're showing your age, Miss Clown. Yes, sir. I can boogie. Okay, here we go then. El Grande Americano. Oh, we got a mariachi band playing. Look at this. Brilliant. Da, 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 da. Okay, here is El Grande, and there's a big, big cheer for him. Ole, ole, ole. Oh, massive pop. Massive. Look at that. He actually drinks it in for a second there. He comes out, arms out. That must feel so good. Mustn't it? That must feel so good. Actually coming out and just... as everyone's going crazy, Bilal Grande chants. I mean, this guy is a flipping... It's funny, they've actually turned him into what his video package, well, you know, this is a folk hero. This is a god of Lucha Libre. You know, Mexican fans love El Grande. It was always just this fun backstory. They've actually turned him into that. The man has become the myth. The kid's crying, look! There's a kid in the crowd in flipping tears. I think the kid's crying because he's actually found out that this guy's actually German. I just got told you're not even Mexican. You used to be an Imperium. Apparently you used to go out with Tiffany Stratton. I thought you was a Mexican hero. Ole, 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 grande, grande. There's another kid. The kid's flipping everywhere. Word Live Cena fan said Ludwig is the complete opposite of Gunther. Gunther's a crybaby. Ludwig is a Mexican hero. Rob said, I wouldn't cry at a Mexican wrestling show unless they told me they were out of churros. Perhaps that's what he's heard, to be honest. They're loud, said Jennifer. Benito said, how about this for an exciting night? A moonlit dinner on the River Thames. That might be out already, to be honest. The Thames is not the greatest, nicest river in the world. With Chef Ramsay. Okay, that's okay. Singing. Singing? What? Ramsay's singing. I'm out. If he's cooking, that's one thing. I don't need to hear him singing. Seeing the sights of Big Ben, followed by some foreplay. The foreplay sounds fine. I've seen Big Ben before. I don't know. I think it's the Thames that's putting me off. It's not the cleanest of rivers. Word Live Scene fan said Gunther would never do this if he was champion. Well, no, because he's heel. One of them's a face, the other one's heel. It'd be a bit bizarre if Gunther came down greeting the kids. Ludwig, getting in the ring. Go Kaiser, says Norm. Jose said, Undertaker, better give us El Grande Gunther in Mexico after El Grande wins the Mega Championship. Here we go. El Grande in the ring. I don't know. We've got 9 minutes. So what's he going to say? Suzanne said, I wonder what Gunther thinks of this. Oh, he'll be thrilled for his friend. Absolutely thrilled. They did El Grande Gunther at a house show on the European tour earlier this year. That'd be a great match, actually. With the love that El Grande gets, the heat that Gunther gets. Great. There's Ludwig then. He says, I see you. I see you. As he looks up into the rows at the back, big smile on his face. Christopher said, Ludwig, Mexico stole that El Grande character. Chad is always the original. Ludwig needs to thank Gable for helping him. I think he probably does behind the scenes. I think he has took it to a completely different level, though. You know, Chad might be the original, but I think Ludwig is the correct person to be playing this character now. So I think that's what Mask versus Mask was a little bit in a way. It was that sort of passing of the torch, passing of the, you know, you are this character now. This is yours. Okay, so El Grande says, how exciting. Norm, shout out to you, but Suzanne said he's really soaking this in. Together we took down the shorty Americano. Okay, he's fired up. I didn't do this alone. I had help from my friends and my people. This is for my people, my party people. Is that... Okay. Also. Okay, so he's just thanking everyone that's believed in him. He's thanking Pimpinella right now. You remind me, Pimpinella, what Lucha Libre means. Passion. Pride. Thank you, my friends. Is he going to get to his missus? Mi amor. My love. Andrea. Andrea, you're going to stay fired. It is better without you being here, to be honest. You did get me in trouble with that old guy in the elevator. So it's probably best we break up. I've actually been in a relationship with that old woman that owns the company. I've been seeing her for the past 6 months behind your back. Thanks, though. It was fun. I'm just translating what I think he's saying. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Is Lucha Underground a thing? I enjoyed that show, said Christopher. It's not, unfortunately. I think it ran for 3-4 seasons and died, I think, before the pandemic. So there was chatter of it potentially coming back, but I think that was just a new TV deal to show the old stuff. Okay. Thanks, everyone. Daze, I love your version so much better, says Shakim. It's more shocking, isn't it? So it's so far it's a loving. Thank you, everyone. Love you all. But now what? What now? Now what? What next? I think it's time for me to go to AEW and CMLL. Thank you, everyone. Bye. I won the Raider Reyes. Well, I can understand that. Mega Championship. He wants that Mega Championship. Dominic Mysterio. Dominic Mysterio. No. Is that Liv? No, it's Carmen. Carmen Petrovic. What's Carmen Petrovic doing here? I thought it was Liv from a distance. Yeah. What's she doing? How does this make any sense? She's not with Dominic. Oh, see, I told you they're so creative. Carmen Petrovic has made her way down. She's just staring over at El Grande. He needs to watch his back, doesn't he? It feels like a distraction. You can hear, there we go, there we go, there we go. Some people are here. Is that Connors? Yeah. Oh, it's OTM. OTM, Darga. What's she doing with them? This is going to keep him away from the Mega Championship, isn't it? Why is he not just attacking him? It looks so weird with Bronco in there. Bang, he turns around, clothesline. Carmen gets in. We've got Los Garza. Where's Lucian? I don't know where Lucian is. Wow, this is big for Carmen to sort of be with this group. It's a weird group. You got one member of OTM. You got Los Garza. You got Darga. You got Carmen Petrovic. I can't wait to find out the backstory about this lot got together. Yeah, it's funny, isn't it? We said they're so creative. You could have given me a million guesses. Literally a million. And there is no way I would have told you this would happen. Absolutely no way. If someone had said, oh, do you think El Grande is going to talk and Carmen Petrovic is going to come walking down? I'd be like, talk me through that. How have you got to that? Okay, it's a new group. Is this a group that's existed before, is it, or something? Or is this a new name? Peros. Big kick coming in. Peros del Mal. Is that a thing? Yeah, Ray, you're not helping by going, wow. Wow. Is that a group that's existed in AAA before? I don't know. They took the jackets off. They had the shirts on. The shirts all said Peros del Mar. Hopefully they'll be better than Retribution. It's a bit of a random group. Carmen and Liv are interchangeable from a distance. Joe said Evil Dogs. Is that what it stands for? Evil Dogs. Is that a new group, is it? All Ray was doing on commentary was just going, wow. This is a legendary heel group. The best heel stable, said Alexis. It's basically the Bullet Club of AAA, right? So that's their version of Bullet Club, is it? Blimey now, that's a lot of new members they've just welcomed in then, isn't it? With Carmen and Los Garza. Dogs of Evil is what it means, said Spicy. Glad I watched, said Spudsy. That was a name that got trademarked today, said Shakeem. Oh, it's funny you should say that. I did see there was a lot of trademarks. I didn't read them. So I might have... I don't know if I've got the tweet. I have got... Oh, no. The ones I've got are these ones. Vanta the Unknown, Kylie Quinn, Milos Jovic. Those are the ones that I saw today, so there must have been some others that got trademarked today. Okay. Well, there we go. A brand new... Well, it's not a new group by the sounds of it. The show was so much better than Smackdown, said Shakeem. That's what the main roster needs to do, said David. This show is so much better than Smackdown, says Shakeem. That name was trademarked today. Didn't expect it to be that. Where was the help, said Suzanne. This is like the most random group I've seen, said Wrestling Fan. Carmen has been on Main Event Show on Thursdays on YouTube, said Christopher. Yeah, it was good. I thought it was fun. It's not a new group like Four Horsewomen. It's just a different formation, said Dan. The group originated in CMLL, said Joe. What year did they originate? Perez del Mal. Dogs of Evil. Members. Years active 2004 to 2016. Then it was back in like 2017, and then it was back briefly in 2019. So I suppose in a way it's a little bit like when they redid the LWO type thing. You know, this seemingly is not a group that's been around for a long time. I mean, just looking on Wikipedia, it says that its last incarnation was before the pandemic. So we're looking about 7 years since they've done this Perros del Mal. Big, though, to bring that group back and for these to be the new members. I mean, it could be. It probably is something that just plays out in AAA, but there's always a chance that it features in NXT. I think there can absolutely be crossover there. Not sure that we see it much on the main roster. Not sure. But, I mean, it might pop up here or there. But I think certainly in AAA is where it's going to be. And I wouldn't be shocked to see it kind of coming over into NXT from time to time. The group was created by Pero Aguirre. He died in the ring. The group after that was never the same. Okay, interesting. We need to learn about this group. I don't know anything about... I've said, I mean, I've never watched AAA, so we're kind of learning together. Angel said, I know Carmen, Bronco, Los Garza. Who was the other two guys? Well, Dagger was one of them. I don't know. Was there another one? I only saw Bronco, Dagger, Los Garza, and Carmen. It would be fire if that makes its way to NXT, says Davids. Yeah, interesting. Founded in 2004, says Alexis. Dan said there's a lot of talent in that original group. Yeah, I mean, like, for this group to have run for 12 years, it seems like it was a big thing. So, very cool. And funny, actually, it's already been updated. Look at that. So this is the Wikipedia page, and already there it is. Current edition. Carmen Petrovic, Bronco Nima. I don't know what that means for Lucian. I mean, is Lucian just injured at the moment? If so, does that mean he's going to be a member when he comes back? So we got Dagger, who's the leader, apparently. Makes sense. He has got, I believe, history with being in the group, so the others haven't. So Dagger as the leader makes sense. Los Garza, Angel, Berto, Bronco Nima, looks like he's going to be the enforcer. Carmen Petrovic has landed herself a real sweet job. Real sweet job. Just looking at like previous former members down here, Dagger being one of those. So again, that's why it makes sense, him being the leader, because he is that connection to the past. But yeah, already updated on the Wikipedia page. Well, I like it. I mean, it really does go back to kind of what we said before, which was you never quite know what you're going to get out of any sort of segment from AAA. But when it's a talking segment, you might be expecting it to go one way, and then bang, it just swerves you and completely goes a different direction. That's fun. It's a new group using main roster talent. Main roster talent we don't use very often in Los Garza. NXT talent. Former AAA talent. AAA talent, though, we have not seen in a long time. I don't know where Dagger has been. I haven't seen him in AAA since I've been watching AAA. So, I don't know what... He's been in Noah. According to this, he's been wrestling in Noah since 2023. He returns to AAA on this episode. I wonder if this was taped. It must have been. I don't know if someone's just updated all this now. I'm guessing this was taped and I just, didn't hear any of the spoilers. Because it's all been updated about how he's come back and everything. So, yeah, goods. Angel Garza has got a great look. Good wrestlers have some charisma. He's 32 now. He's been around since 2020. How do we think he looks back on his career? I don't think he even begins to look back on his career at the age of 32. I think, at the age of 32, he's very much ready now to get his teeth into something. He has been in the system for a while. He is someone that has had hot periods and cool periods. He's had opportunity. I wouldn't say he's maximized it. The punishment for that is you can find yourself on the outside of creative, which he and Berto very much have. But what an opportunity this is for him. Really, what's happened before this point, forget it. It doesn't matter. You don't need to look back on your career. Look back on now, because this could really be a vehicle that takes you somewhere. If you can get regular TV time in AAA, and you can, kill it with the promos and have great segments. Look at what happened with Chad Gable. I mean, Chad Gable just worked this great program, just building up to Mask versus Mask. Now he's got all this momentum. There's people in WWE pushing for him to, get, a SummerSlam, high-profile SummerSlam match. This is a gift. This is a gift for anyone in this group. I mean, Carmen Petrovic was not struggling in Evolve. I actually thought she was doing quite well in Evolve, but we had spoken a lot during our Evolve streams about how she had kind of took a step backwards. She was at NXT. Now she was in Evolve. So she had, Thea Hale is about to do the same. Word today is Thea Hale's about to go to Evolve. So she was, in NXT. Now she's in Evolve. It's hard to not see that as being a step backwards. And I think that's what it is. So Carmen Petrovic has gone from being on the brink of getting cut, being in Evolve, being on that chopping block, to now being added to this group that's got all this history in AAA. Now she's in AAA. I mean, I really thought it was Liv at first when from a distance. And then you go, it's Carmen Petrovic, what's she doing here? And then you go, she's probably working with someone. I did not expect it to be a group. And I did not expect it to be these members. I mean, the whole thing's pretty mind-blowing, to be honest. I really like it because I feel like I've just seen something pretty seismic. I mean, look, this thing can bomb. But the one thing we know about Undertaker and his booking is it's very thoughtful. It's very committed. He likes to surprise, and, every segment is, you don't know what you're going to get out of it. I think under his control, there's no reason to think that this thing's going to bomb. Why would we think anything in AAA is going to bomb? I mean, it's the hottest brand that WWE have got at the moment. So to find yourself in a brand new group in AAA, honestly, they must be doing flipping cartwheels at how excited they are considering where their careers were. Think about Carmen Petrovic just kicking around in Evolve. Think about Angel and Berto. And they must have tried every meal catering has got to offer. And now here they are in a group in AAA with Undertaker booking. And this could really work wonders for them. So, yeah, exciting. We could have Chad come back to AAA and help, Ludwig says, Word Life Cena fan. That's interesting. Big Time said, unfortunately, Berto weighs him down. I don't know, honestly. I mean, I think Berto's a pretty good-looking guy. In-ring is okay. I think that I think their booking has not been brilliant. And I think that they've had a few opportunities and they've not, killed it. I'm very interested to see how they get used here, though. Very interested to see what this group does. Penta was in Perros del Mal and has various references to Perro Aguero since joining WWE. If they use these guys correctly, they will be elevated instead of buried. Thank you. Interesting. I don't know anything about... The only information I've got here is this list of former members and obviously where we are right now. And I know that this group started in 2004, ran for 12 years, had some brief reunions and has not been seen since before the pandemic. We've literally just learnt that. So yeah, I'm kind of putting pieces together myself here. It feels significant. They've done a really good job of making me believe this is, I mean, arguably El Grande is the hottest star they've got right now, and they've just had this group attack him. It's a hell of a statement. I mean, it was an absolute loving that we were just watching. So it was a hell of a statement. hell of a way to debut them. So I'd say we're off to a really good start. Does it mean OTM are on a hiatus, said Spawny Boy? Well, I don't know. I mean, I'd love to know what's happened to Lucian. I don't know if Lucian's got an injury. If he has, that makes sense. So if Lucian Price has got an injury, and that's why he's not part of this, to be honest, I wouldn't really want this group to be any bigger. I think people know my limit is 5, with one of those being a female. That's me done, really. I would not look to add more. I think this is my absolute limit. You know, I can cope with 4. We had the 4 horsemen. If we're going to add anything to the group, then it needs to be a female, and that's what we've got. So, yeah, for me, this works. I just don't know if the reason why Bronco's in and Lucian isn't is because they just want Bronco to be the enforcer, or is it because Lucian's got an injury? I'm not sure. Haven't heard. I didn't even know this group was happening. So, yeah, interesting. Daze, if WWE is full committed to the group, it could work. But if we're being honest, the NXT men's division is dry and bland. So an investment in a potential new faction, this could transition to AAA to NXT. Yeah, maybe. I don't really see this as being much of a boost for the men's division. To be honest, I think that the men's division is needing to build characters and is needing to. I think it's doing a decent job actually of finding its feet. You know, we're starting to see, you know, some people starting to come through. I mean, we got Naraku, we got Mason Rook, we got Tony. There was a good match that we saw with Tavian. You know, Tavian now getting a win and seems like he's on a collision course with Miles. So, you know, we've got a few people that are around. There is, I could probably name like 6 or so guys that can make up, you know, kind of the top end of the division, with rumors of Enzo coming in and rumors of Takahashi coming in. Maybe a leader here like Dagger could do something if we use him. Maybe an enforcer like Bronco Nima could do something. But I don't feel too convinced this is going to be like a boost to the NXT men's division. I think this is going to be a big focus for AAA, and then maybe a faction we can use to sort of come in and go up against a group of people in NXT. Or maybe we'll see Berto and Angel go after the tag titles, you know. Dagger, I think, is interesting. I mean, Dagger's interesting. Maybe he comes in and does something. I wouldn't be against that. With his experience, I'd be interested in seeing him come in. He's got a lot of experience. So, but again, at the moment, I think this is going to be very AAA focused. We've got 2 legends, Ray and Undertaker, running things. Both know the 90s style storytelling, said Edwards. Does it mean OTM is on a hiatus? We answered that. Kiana Julia, can either woman afford the loss and call it a day? Ideally, it should continue. Does Blake debut in London? Well, they haven't said she's going to debut. They just said coming soon. So they haven't said she's debuting. I mean, I would expect it, but they haven't teased it or set it up. In regards to Kiana Julia, do you mean call the feud a day? I wouldn't expect for it to be over. I think there's probably more meat on the bone. It really depends what they want to move them on to. If they've got something else planned for Julia, like they want to get her to the mid-card title scene again or something, and they've got plans for that at SummerSlam, then it could be one and done. But normally with a feud like this, you wouldn't just do this kind of one match and then that's it. So it's going to depend on the future plans. The NXT tag division needs some help, says Jennifer. If Bushi and them come into WWE, they could fit into AAA, says Dan. You could have Berto, Angel, and Dagger go after those trios titles. You can have Bronco and Carmen go for the mixed Tag titles, yes, you could. You could. AAA is the #1 wrestling show this year. It looks like people have really enjoyed it. Looks like people have really enjoyed this episode. I thought the first match, personally, was short. I was not that impressed with it. I thought it was fine. I like Mini Vikingo. I just didn't think there was too much to it. But that was okay because we used the time really well for that second match, which I completely forgot to end the poll on. But you lot scored it as being great 78. So great 78 for that second match. And then, well, obviously we've just spent the past I don't know how long talking about this brand new group that's arrived. So, yeah, good. I mean, good. Really good. It felt like it was worth watching once again. So, but again, I've just got to the point where I'm not even flipping surprised anymore. You could have Berto, Angel, and Dagger go after the trios, said Robbie. You could have Bronco and Carmen go after the mixed tag. Thea Hale should be main roster by now, says Humble Rumble. Robbie said the trio titles are still active in AAA. They're held by Psycho Circus. Yeah, you could absolutely have them involved. Jada should be on the main roster, said Word Life Cena fan. Uji, shout out to you. Tunisia, Japan coming up. Well, that'll be good. Hopefully Japan get the win. I like Japan. Could we imagine Omos Oba tagging? That'd be fun to do as a one-off thing at some point. So, yeah, not down on that. I don't think it would be a permanent thing. But I don't know. We've had some weird tag runs in the past, haven't we? So I'm sure at some point in Oba's career, he might find himself tagging with someone for a bit. Do a poll for the final segment, said Word Live Cena fan. Okay. Segments score. That'll get, I can see that really getting some attention, actually. I feel like that last segment is one of those segments that people online are going to be really talking about and buzzing about, It's one of those where if you didn't watch AAA this week, you see that and you go, oh, wow. Seems like I've missed something here. Seems like I've missed something tonight. Get your thoughts in then, get your scores in. We'll stick around for a couple of minutes. And then we're gonna call it a night. I asked Google if Lucian is a member of Los Perros del Mar, and they said he is not. That might be because he hasn't been shown to be part of the group yet. Whether they've got plans to bring him in if he is just a bit banged up at the moment, I'm not sure. Daze, the Carmen finisher could do with sharpening. I think she missed the angle a bit, and it was just lacking with the launch, with punch. Sure. To be honest, I wasn't really focused on it. I was more focused on, obviously, the arrival of this new group, but yeah, maybe that's something she needs to look at when it's time for her to be, competing. Jennifer said, are we doing King of the Ring watch long? Yeah, I think we are. I don't really have a reason to not do it, so yeah. Tribal List said everyone needs to take notes. Undertaker is cooking as Booker of the year. Uji says Japan 1 p.m. late night. Yep. Robbie said England has got 4 divisions. No, it's got more. English football has got lots of divisions. It's got 4 ones that get financial support, but you can get relegated from that one and go even lower. But once you start going past those 4, I don't think you get as much support from the federation, It'd be like in the NBA if you had 4 leagues. The NBA will support those. Once you fall out of that, you go to a lower level and you don't get as much financial support. But like my local town, Stourbridge, they're in the 7th level. And they're just my local kind of town. Big Time said, Daze, it's crazy. I genuinely thought that Carmen was cooking around April with cuts because she only wrestled 5 NXT matches since May. Oh, cooked. Yeah, well, it just shows. Never know, do you? Sometimes they're just waiting for the, they might have had this plan for a month or so. And so we're watching going, what are they doing with her? It's not going anywhere. And then bang, it's because they were waiting to pull the trigger on this. So you never know. You never quite know. Do we think she wins the Evolve title? I don't even know if she'll be in Evolve anymore. Her time in Evolve might be done now. My bad days. There's only 4 divisions in EAFC. Oh, it makes sense. Yeah. Those divisions, those 4 divisions are the ones that get the support. So, you are classed as a league club if you're in those divisions. If you come out of those divisions, which you can do, then you're classed as non-league. You're a non-league team. And it's all to do with the support that you get, the financial support. So I can understand it makes sense that they'll only put those 4 in the game. So, yeah, just worth knowing. Big Time said, nothing against Wendy. I do wonder where the Evolve title reign is going to go. Jim said, Lucian suffered a hand injury that's signed up. Right. Jim, thank you. That's interesting. Turkey has been eliminated. They have. Days for you. Think US fans go Japan. For you love think US fans. I don't know what you mean, but I don't know what you mean. But yeah, I'd like to see Japan win later. Robbie said, I'm very new to soccer. Yeah, a lot of people are. I think the World Cup has kind of grabbed a few people that maybe don't tend to watch. So very good. Okay, let's wrap up the poll. I said we were just going to stick around for a few minutes. And we did, because we always tell the truth. So, yeah, you liked it. You lot said that was great. 73. So, there we go. Right, I'm going to run away. Compile and scene. I don't know if it'll go out tonight. It might go out tomorrow or something. We will be back. We'll do that King of the Ring watch along tomorrow. Obviously, we've got an earlier Raw on Monday. But, my God, man, the wrestling world, it never stops, does it? Never, ever flipping stops. That was a great watch. Yeah, enjoyed it. And plenty to think about where we're going with all of that. So, yeah, good. I feel like I just watched something that had some substance to it. That was a pretty fun Saturday night. So, thanks to everyone that's joined us. Appreciate it as always. And